Cause I don't see nothing but I see the money, yeah, counting on my fingertips.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bueller here again, and for this special, very long movie, whatever we're calling it, type video, I wanted to give this kind of a special intro, just kind of give you guys some context as well. So basically, this is 18 videos split up, but I put them together, cut the intros at the beginning. So if you hear some like weird songs at the beginning of some of the parts, it's because there were intros at the beginning of them that I cut off, but I put them together, so just kind of ignore that. But if it sounds like I'm giving 18 intros, it's because you are literally hearing 18 different intros, so watch out for that. But again, it's just kind of a scalping journey that I went on, growing an account. We basically got it to almost 100%, not quite. It was about 98.5%. But you'll see, of course, the numbers going through it and at the very end. So, yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, again, drop a like on the large movie scalping journey, whatever we're calling it. But, again, hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Alright, bear with me as you start to watch more of these videos. I'm starting off slow because I'm just trying to find a good format that I want for this. But I guess I'll take my trades, whether they're live or not. I mean, most of these are going to be taken while I'm streaming. Some of them won't be after we end some of the streams earlier on. But I am going to be posting a review for each trade, regardless of it being a win, regardless of it being a loss, covering both the positive and the negatives of each trade. Just to kind of give myself a non-biased overview of myself. This was the first trade taken, and just so we all are on the same page, pull this up here. These are the trades taken so far. We have 4 trades taken so far. I have a nice little chart over here that explains everything, just kind of in graphic format. Shows gains, shows current, shows starting balance. This was just really kind of a random balance that I started with, just to kind of go at it. But pretty much mindset in this is going at it with at least 1,000 or just under 1,000 in each trade, trying to maintain that. And then just kind of sticking to quick and heavy scalps, because scalps are where I come from. I love trading scalps. It's just quick and easy. But at the same time, it really only starts to pay off when you have more size, which you shouldn't start to do this until you've spent a lot more time trading or just reviewing. But you have to understand that there are positives and negatives to doing this. So a lot of the positives are, of course, yeah, you make money, but you know, you also have to maintain a very disciplined routine. You can't stray away from doing different things all the time. You have to be very quick, very non-hesitant. You can't just sit there and ignore certain things so you lose a big amount. You'll see a mistake made on my account on the third video. But the first trade we're talking about is the trade taken on the 7th, which was taken. They're all mainly going to be same days. You'll maybe see a couple where I take a different expiration, but they're all mainly going to be same days because I'm not worried about theta. I'm worried about a good delta and a good gamma. I want at least a 0.20 to 0.30 delta. If I have a just under, it's not the end of the world. If I have a just over, I know I am going to know it because I'm going to be paying for it. It's going to be very expensive on a contract. But the first trade we bought at 850 and sold at 950. Real quick, let me get to my notes. Of course, I'm unprepared. Pull over to that just to show you again. These are all the trades taken so far. But the trade taken here, which this one, again, a lot of these trades you're going to think are kind of out of there. But I'll show you the kind of mindset, kind of thinking I'm in by showing the 5-minute and the 1-minute, just to kind of show you what I'm looking at and why I like what I'm looking at. But today, the first trade that was taken on the 7th, I did see that we took this new break under this previous kind of demand area, and by drawing that, I knew that because we kind of rejected from here and pushed up. So after that reversal, I knew that from that low to the top of the last red candle, which I think I drew this on the 1-minute. Yeah. The low to the top of the last red candle, the previous one before it, gives me that 1-minute demand. So I saw that we got rejected here on the 1-minute, and you can see it here on the 5-minute as well. And my trade was taken actually right here. I ended up buying right here as a call. So this was an 11.65% win, $99 profit in 1 minute, 13 seconds. It was a weak new low. There was a high volume hammer for a quick pop after. The risk was the new low. The reward was towards the 9 EMA on the 1 minute. As you can see, it was very close. So I buy into this candle, seeing that I had a high volume hammer. I end up buying and selling as I get towards the 9 EMA. So I see that I'm pretty close, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to just get out here. The next candle definitely would have paid a little bit more, but it would have been hard to get out because it would have been a very quick touch and go as it was getting out. So I'm glad I got out with momentum, and that's the point of a lot of these trades, is getting in with momentum, getting out with momentum. I don't want to be one of those fish left out of the net. I want to get caught in the net. I want to get filled, so I want to get out of my play. So that was kind of the thinking behind it. Before the hammer too, there was rising volume, but like relative to like the like average here, there really wasn't anything crazy. You know, it really wasn't like popping out or anything. Like if it was this much and it was making that new low, I would have probably been in puts, or I would have just avoided it and been looking at something else. But overall, I like that it made kind of what I thought was a weak low. Held with that hammer, and the hammer you'll see in a lot of my trades are a really big thing with me. I love finding high volume hammers, and then it popped back up and hit the 9 EMA, and you can see I really didn't even have to play any of the levels from the bigger time frame. If you see any levels, they're mainly going to be coming from the daily or the monthly TA routine, which I think this is the daily TA routine, so you don't have to worry about that. But that was the thinking, the risk, the rewards on this. I think I could have definitely have taken a better entry to the downside with just as much effectiveness, but as I'm kind of entering and exiting streams, it kind of throws my mindset off on how aggressive I want to be, and sometimes if I'm not ready, I'll just choose not to trade. So a lot of these times you'll see these trades happen right after stream, or you'll see them happen hours after stream, you know, and on Friday you'll see the trade I made today was during the stream. So it just kind of depends what mood I'm in and if I feel like I'm focused or not. And a big thing with me is that I really only start to take losses when I either oversize, over risk, you know, putting too much money into play when I know it's too much, or two, I get ahead of myself. I don't plan, I don't prepare. I just kind of feel overloaded. And that's a big thing with me. So a big thing with what I'm trying to learn is just trying to stay away from all the noise. Just focus on what I'm trying to do. You know, just do me, take the trade, do it. I know that I'm a winner. I know that I can succeed. I just need to focus on that instead of listening to outside noise or not paying attention enough and then thinking I can just hit the markets with, you know, zero focus and just win a trade when that's wrong. No, if I win a trade in that kind of mindset, I'm just getting lucky. You know, I want to be disciplined and focused and just goal oriented when I'm going for this. I want to make a certain amount. I want to focus on taking certain types of trades, being in for a certain amount of time, just in and out, quick and heavy. But I hope you enjoy this trade video so far. I'll go to the next one. I'm going to just upload different links for each one. So each video has its own link to each part of the chart here, like on my trade log. There'll be a link here to each video so you can watch back on this recording. But I'm going to go finish these other three, and then we'll finish doing the rest of these live as they come out. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you guys enjoy the idea. You don't have to drop a like. These will be private videos for the most part, just for you guys alone. But let me know. Let me know what you think about this, or what you like, or what you're looking for, or how you're taking your SPX trades, or how you scalp. Let me know what you think about this, but I'll see you guys later on. Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the scalp series so far. This is the second episode where we talk about the second trade, which on this trade, on the 8th, we took a trade, a same day. We took 3 contracts at 330 to equal 990, so it's still under our 1K goal. And then we sold at 390, so 60 cents later on the dollar, which is 180 profit, but minus our $3 of commission, we got our 177 total profit. We get 50 cents per contract, which I can get that lowered very soon, which I'll be trying to. So we'll be seeing how that works out. But that's how we're getting to that. That's how we're getting to that number though of $3 commission. 177 bucks profit, 17.88% scalp. You can see the trade log here so far. Here on SPY, which as you guys can see when I same day trade SPX, I pretty much just stare at SPY. But the trade that I took, I'm just keeping it open because I highlighted there. I marked off the previous day low right here. You can see it right there. Previous day closes up here. The meat of that previous day low is about right there. But auto zoom out, going into that next trade. Hold up, where am I at now? Maybe on the 8th. On the wrong day now. This is why it's good to do these live. But as you can see, I was going from that previous day low, the meat of it, and it kind of rejected down, and I kind of got this like 50-50 candle here on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute though, a lot bigger or a lot easier story to tell was here. But on this, I already told you all the win size. That was in 1 minute and 10 seconds, rejecting a strong level at 397.60s as well as the 9 EMA after breaking down from a double top. This is also what I sometimes call the Lee test like entry for a quick scalp towards the next level below. But it's not really a Lee test entry because I didn't do any fibs when I was doing this on this particular trade. But normally you'd want to go from here to where it fell to, and then try to go like here actually, and then try to catch it on a good reversal from the halfway point. We didn't even get close to that, so that also wasn't what I was going off of. But that's what a Lee test is. I just said it's like the Leland test because it broke below, got a little bit of sideways action, and then it gave us a better kind of H signal, a H pattern or a bear flag, some people call it. But it gave me a good entry against the 9 EMA and against a good level, broke lower, or that's when I entered, and then it broke lower, and as it reached down towards this next level down here at 397.30s, that was where I really wanted to sell, but I was kind of paying attention to this left side here. If you just mark all these meets right here, you can see there's a lot of really big supports there. So as it was reaching there in one candle, I mean, again, this was a trade that happened in 1 minute and 10 seconds. I was like, all right, I'm out, whatever. I bought 3 contracts, and I could have definitely have taken 2 out of 3 of them there, made that like a free trade basically, or almost a free trade, and then seeing how I could have held longer. But I definitely would have been tempted to cut as it approached here, or as it came back up here, because these were 2 really good rising volume pushes above the 9 EMA. But maybe on the second one I would have had maybe more confidence to hold it longer and catch this new low, but by that time the contract would have maybe decayed a little bit, which again, I don't really have to worry about that when I'm doing these, because I'm not in a trade long enough for the theta to affect me. So that's kind of my thinking on that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video too. This one was a little bit more routine of a trade than the first one, because I was actually going off of a level instead of just finding a rising volume hammer and going, all right, I'm in. But this one was kind of particularly the same thing, except against a good level, so it's a good pattern, against a good position, against the previous day low. Got the rejection with the wick and the 9 EMA, got in towards the end of that candle, and then sold towards the end of that candle as it was pushing down. So that was good momentum again, getting me out of that trade as soon as I possibly can. But as price is pushing lower, so I get the best fill I possibly can. I don't have to fight to get out of that trade. But that was that trade for that one. Nothing too deep or keen on that one. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. What's up, BB Game? Back at it again with episode 3 with the SPX Scalp account. I'll probably try to do other tickers too. I'm just really focused on SPX. But this is the 3rd trade. This is the no trade, and I'm really happy to talk about this one actually, because not only was it a learning experience, it's also a possible eye-opener for any of you who are also experiencing different problems with different whatever barriers in your trading or whatever you may be dealing with. Maybe you're having a similar issue. And this one was actually really easy to spot thanks to the trade log. So again, if you want this trade log, just reach out to me, ask me how to install it or put it on. But really, you just go up to here. After you get the file link, I click share. I give you the link. I send it over to you. You go to file and click make a copy, and you can delete all of this stuff off of the chart, and you can just go off of the first row where all the formulas are, like up here. Keep it that way. And then it'll all kind of do it for you. But overall, this one, I'll just read my description first. I'll show you the chart, and then we'll go back to the trade log. But my description on this is 22.59% loss in 1 minute 53 seconds. So our longest trade so far. Oversized, good loss, but played way too heavy for trade size. We are aiming for just under or at 1K. We're kind of aiming for under 1K. This trade costed us $13.50. This trade was $13.50, whereas every other position taken so far has been under 1K. That size loss on 3 contracts was only $183 compared to the $300 loss that was taken with the 5 contracts. Even just 4 was a $243 loss, which isn't good either, but over 25% is beyond stupid mistakes, something that's very avoidable. We should be able to avoid 25% losses by having effective stop losses. We shouldn't be taking 0.25% stop losses on every single trade, and if we do, we should be sized properly. Now look at this. So I'm glad I labeled it that way, because that's how it was. Imagine if we had taken 3 here, right? Imagine we had taken 3 here. Then we would have only have lost, hold up. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Hold up. Just so you see it too. 270 times 3. So let's say we only took 3 contracts instead of 5. That would have equaled $810, right? So sell price at 210 would have been 600.30. Oh wait, hold up. I'm about to mess it all up. 630. So we would have only lost 183 for 22.59, same percentage, but we would have lost 183. That's $117 less. So our gains went from 210. Again, if I back that up, our gains went from 210 to 332 just by that simple thing, just by sizing correctly, by having 3 contracts, not 5, spending 810, not 1350, right? So let's go back. Did I fix it all? Yeah, I did. It's right there. All right, last thing was right there. So the biggest mistake was entering too many things. That was 1350. At the time, that was probably almost 100% of the portfolio, the account. This was probably like 1350 of like the 14 or 1500 that was in there at the time, right? It was probably up like 40-50%. That was probably most of that account, which is crazy. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. You should keep it at the under 1K mark, like we promised at the beginning of this challenge or trade idea, whatever we're calling it. The rule of the account, though, we should have kept it at that. See, the next trade we kept it at 1,000, we kept this one at 1,000, kept that at 850. They were all at a reasonable price. That was 350 more. So us just not having that much on the table and taking that size loss would have been okay. Now let's look at the trade though. Why did we like it? So the reason I liked it was that it already had broken a new low, but it wasn't really like anything crazy. Like it had rising volume, but it stopped at that level, right? So it kind of pushed to it, gave me this hammer. And again, me being the inside, the hammer guy that I like being, let me switch to my oval tool. I bought on the high volume hammer, high volume stepping in. I'm like, all right, I like that. What I should have done is waited to see, does another candle pop up here to say, hey, there are buyers there. You can start to get into a position and try to take it to the 9 EMA. That didn't happen though. The next candle ended up coming down, gave me low volume. At this time, I'm like, you know what? I'll just hold through it. It's low volume. It's nothing crazy. It didn't really break anything significant. I'm going to hold through it. Then it broke through and made that new low. So that new low is my risk. I have to get out on that new low because I don't know that it's going to reverse right after like we see here. So I got out for that loss, which is a good loss. That's not a horrible size loss. It's under 25%. What screwed me is that I oversized. But overall, that was a good trade, a good loss. I'm okay with that. It looks like if I would have held over the next 3, 4, 7 minutes, I could have definitely have made my money back on that trade just by holding it longer. But again, that's not the rule of this account. We're focused on quick in, quick out, and with good reasoning. So we'll focus on making our trades longer as we go on. But overall, I did like this trade. I liked the loss. It wasn't anything crazy, and it was following a high volume hammer. I love these candles, so I'm going to take the risk on them when I see them. I just need to do it properly, not oversizing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the risk management kind of conversation we got to have today. It's not every time we sit here and talk about risk management all the time, but that is definitely something that we can work on and something we'll definitely do better from here on out. But I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah. What's up, BB gang? Bueller here again, and we're going to be covering the fourth trade of the Scalp series account. Today we had a 23.90% win. While I was on stream too, we were talking about this high volume hammer. It was a $239 profit in 3 minutes 8 seconds. Very risky entry, but it was good risk at a level with good profit size. 5-minute high volume hammer after weakening push lower from previous day low at first to under pre-market low after. High volume hammer scalp towards the 9 EMA. On the 1 minute, we bought on the doji with risk below the 50% of the move up from the new low made at 387.90. Profit was taken after the lowering buyer volume showed up and hit 389.40. Level to form, that was the level from the daily TA routine. The TP spot, was also the 1 minute and 5 minute control point, the halfway point of the drop from the open to the low of day. This is what the third trade should have been like size-wise. Account would be up another 117 instead of just 210 up in total. We learn as we trade and review more and more what to avoid and what to focus on as we move on. So big thing with this trade, and sorry, I just had descriptions typed out for each of these that I wanted to get across just so I had some sort of clear thought process posted out there, because I do just rant, I just kind of talk really fast, and I go through my stuff really quick, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm just trying to explain everything I possibly can in a format that I feel like is easiest to understand. But we had a really, really good recovery trade after our very nasty size loss, and as you can see, kind of recovering part of the account, and we took a trade right at 1,000 up to 1240. So that was really good. Again, you can see the trades, and you can see a lot of my entries are towards the end, exits towards the end. Second half, second half, second half, second half. This was the first trade where I bought towards the first half of the candle and sold towards the second half of the second candle, where every other one I've been kind of buying or selling towards the end of the candle on the 1 minute. But that's what that looks like. But as you can see, we broke the pre-market low, and it didn't really have anything crazy, but we had a rising volume, really long wick pop up here on the 5 minute, and that's what kind of got me excited. Was all right, this might be where I get in at. I waited a couple minutes looking at the 5 minute, seeing if it would keep teeter-tottering and holding this position or what was going on with that. It ended up holding pretty well towards the middle of that candle, and as you can see, I bought right before the second half of that candle, and I ended up buying on this 50-50 doji here. I go to the 1 minute and I see, okay, we're holding here. So what I do is I grab a fib from today's open, to that low, and I target the 50% control point. I target saying, all right, this is where I should be targeting if a good buyer move comes in. If a weak buyer move comes in, I should stop right here. So I'm able to risk it here, keeping my stop loss at the low of this move. So if it breaks under this support here, I'm out. I could also set a tighter stop loss. Let me remove this so you can see it easier. I can also do a tighter stop loss by going from the low of this move to the high of this move that happened before I entered. So before I entered, it hit this high, hit that important level at 388.34, slowed down, and that gave me a potential opportunity of drawing from the low to that move there and see where can it retrace. And if it would have broken lower than this spot right here, then I would have been out of that trade, which again kind of lines up with the low of that move. Like I was saying, I wanted to keep my stop loss out. So that was my stop loss. Target was 50% of the drop from today's open down to today's low. Normally I draw it from the open range breakout, but since we didn't really have one, it just kind of hit the pre-market low. Didn't really give you a super far move. I ended up just drawing from the last important level, which was that day's open, the pivot point, and that was really nice. High volume hammer again. You could see high volume hammer stepping in again. You guys see this on pretty much every trade I've taken so far. Very nice. On the candle I entered, it was good because it's a 50-50 candle. You either get a lower open and they get the momentum to possibly take it lower under that area we talked about, or they hold that area, push a new high, and then you could start to look over the 9 EMA. That's exactly what we got. They pushed that high over the 9 EMA with rising volume. I held another minute and sold towards just the middle of that candle. So as it was pushing there, as it was pushing up there, I sold into that level, and then it ended up pulling back down, slowed down, held the 9 EMA. And yeah, I kept going more. I could have made more. But considering that was pretty much the longest trade I've taken with this scalp account, and I was kind of coming off of that big loss, I wanted to recover myself mentally, not just from my account, but mentally as well. Your emotional and mental health is more important than your trading health, really, if that makes sense. So me catching a bigger gain isn't really going to help me as much as just catching a good trade that makes sense to me, and I could recover some of my confidence back. So that was a good win. Now the account's back up to just being up 210. So yeah, but that's the trade I took today on Friday. We had a full day stream today, so I took that on the stream, talked about that high volume hammer a few different times with everybody. We'll see if we catch more next week while we're on stream, see if we do more of those. But now what we do next is risk properly, don't oversize our trades like we did on our third trade, and move forward and just continue to keep doing what we're doing, catching these 10 to 20% gains and just stacking the account over and over. Let's keep doing it. But I'll see you guys on the next one, and I hope you enjoy it. Yo, what's going on, gang? So here to do the 5th entry to the trade log here. We took a pretty long trade. It's over double our previous longest trade, but we're in a trade for 8 minutes 25 seconds today. Only pulled away $56 after the $4 of commission. Again, that they break down at 50 cents per contract in, 50 cent per contract out, so it's $1 per contract in and out. Normally it's a little higher than that. Some places it's cheaper. That's just what I'm okay with. But got a tiny trade today. Again, focus on the trade. Got a tiny trade today, only about 6%. Nothing crazy. Got in at 220, got out at 235. I'll show you the details here real quick. Oops. Again, $60. Got in at 101, got out at 110, got 4 this time. Trying to keep it under 1,000. We ended up spending $880 in this trade, so we spent under the amount we wanted to spend, which is good. That's perfect. The gains are now up to 600 or 266, so nothing crazy. Still, again, I wasn't really happy with this trade. I like the entry. I don't like what I had to go through though. So the entry was as we were hitting this control point. I was like, you know what? I'll take a good risky trade here. If it pops a new high, I'll take an exit, and then I'll get out. It ends up making a new high, but I ended up zooming out to the 10-minute, which is something that Devin likes to use a lot. And I went from the point of where we reversed from, I went to the last high to the open of the last green candle, which would be the same candle that made that high. So I know that if I at least held that rejection, I had some chance to hold the position. And we were down a pretty good amount, which was very bad. This was a very ugly hold. I like the entry. I don't like the hold. I don't like that I tried to validate something by going out to the 10-minute, going, oh, there's a zone here though. It's like, it doesn't matter. Then I should be looking for entry there, not here, is my kind of thing. But I ended up getting out clean. I ended up holding through after this pump, which completely ruined the position. It was down like 15-20% pretty quickly, and then it ended up coming right back, and we were almost break even. We were pretty much not break even throughout most of this, except on a couple of the wick downs. And then as soon as this candle opened lower, it like blasted the bid up. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get out here. I did a market order. It was at like 245. It ended up selling me out at 235, so we lost what, another like $60. Just like, who cares, you know. Just wanted to get out of that trade. Wasn't anything special. Made it down to the golden pocket after my trade, it looks like, so we could have definitely sold for maybe a little bit more, but nothing crazy. And then they ended up getting another little move here, which they look like they're trying to hold, which this fib, just to show you what it is just a fib from this level here that broke out at 386.20s up to this high. And then from there is what I was kind of going off of to get a lot of my levels and just kind of go off of an extra fib there, which normally that's only kind of what I like to use for my way down. I should have been looking to maybe take a short trade maybe here through the 9 EMA down to this bigger level here at 386.20, and maybe not even there, you know, sell it to like here. Sell it to like between this low and this low, you know, take an entry up here and then take it down to here. That would have been optimal, not what I did. So kind of took a weaker trade than what I could have taken, but we got out green. I would say I got kind of a lucky exit, if anything, so I'm not really happy about this trade, but we'll move on. It's green, whatever. We'll find another trade, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Let me know in the comments or DM me or tag me in chat. Ask me about the series if you ever have any questions or if there's ever anything you want me to go over. But I will see you guys later on. Thank you. Yo, what's up, gang? Here to do the trade review. We'll talk about the open range scalp. So technically this video, or this trade will have a video link. It's just so small I didn't think it needed its own. Then we took a 58-second scalp, which I'm actually sort of okay, not okay with this loss. It's not the size that gets me, it's the exit that kind of gets me. And then this one, I'm okay with the loss. I actually am okay with this one, but I think my big problem today is that I should not have been taking 3 trades. I should have been looking to just take 1 or 2, really just 1 tops, knowing that we just had CPI today. Again, if you go to the Econoday website, it's free to check this out. You can see that we had CPI today, so this should have been a huge warning to myself to say, hey, trade half of what you normally trade, and maybe not just trade of half of what you trade with less than what you normally trade with. So normally we're over here trading with, you know, a little under 1,000, a little over 1,000 on some trades, and then today we're trading with a little bit less on this first one, which is a good sign. That's a good one. This is definitely a no-no. We should have traded with less, and this one wasn't horrible. I just held it too long. But let's look at the chart now and see what I did right, what I did wrong, the lesson of the day today. I would definitely say lesson of the day today was self-awareness. I should have been self-aware that I was spending too much on one of my 3 trades, especially the one that hurt me the most. And then 2, I would say, is over-trading. I don't need to be sitting here over-trading, taking too many trades. I shouldn't be taking 3 trades on CPI day. That's just stupid. But let's talk about the first couple trades. So here on the first trade, here on the 1 minute, and then we'll switch it to the 5 minute. Yeah, we'll just leave it on this one. My big thing is that, or hold up, we'll cover the open range breakout first. So that first trade, that was like $9 or whatever. It was actually almost 20, and then it like wicked down instantly when I was exiting. But first trade was when it was pushing this new high. We got in on a farther out contract, which I should have gotten a closer strike. If you look, I got a 39.60, right? At that time, we were at like 391 pretty much is pretty much what we were at. So I should have been looking to get a closer strike. I think my intention was to try and hold it longer, which still really wouldn't have done much, but overall, I should have been looking to just have a better contract, so I kind of messed up on that one. But we took the open range breakout, and then we sold just a couple minutes later as it was making that new high and then struggled. So we got out very soon after that. So that was a good trade, just not the right contract, so result was not really awesome or effective. But this one, I think I was trying to go for a good rejection of this resistance here. Just kind of went up to the high and was just kind of entering early. You know, I didn't think this was special or anything. We'll check out the 5 minute here in a second. But then it made that new high, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get out and I'll wait. So this was kind of me chasing. So that's why I said I wasn't really mad at the size of the loss. I mean, it was like what? It was only $81, but it was a stupid trade. I shouldn't even have been entering there. So that was one thing I could have avoided, and that would have been $81 less on the day for an L. Second trade, I'm not as mad at. Let's start to look at the 5 minute now. So on that first trade, you can see was going for a. I think I started entering as it was still wicking here, and then it started to push toward the end of that candle. So I entered it too early. I should have waited. So that was just a stupid trade again. That could have definitely been avoided. Second trade, though, I kind of like this one. And the loss really wouldn't have hurt me if I didn't already make those previous mistakes on like that trade before or just oversized. But this is the trade I oversized into, but it was a really, really nice try. I really like the fact that I tried to go for a rejection play. It went up to my supply here, and again, this is from the not previous day. Previous day is what we started at from the bigger time frame, but it pretty much combined two bigger time frame levels. So it really made me happy about, okay, it's at least going to an area I'm aware of. But pretty much went up into this area. I like that we started to reject it, so I got in. I like that we were still rejecting, We pushed that new high, but I really wanted to give it a little bit more chance. So within the first couple seconds or first few minutes of this next candle, I got out. I didn't want to risk it at all. Pretty funny, the very next candle that opened right after I exited actually ended up recovering not all of my losses. It was like $30 down still, but it definitely would have been better than 190 or whatever we got. Yeah, 191. So definitely could have done better on that trade, but I wanted to give it a chance, and I don't think I'd be hurting today from this loss if I didn't already take this trade as well. So that makes it a lot worse. So we're down pretty nice today. Not going to say I'm not. But overall, we'll learn past it. Definitely had a good lesson today. Still working on it. And also, since I'm not super new to SPX, but I am new to trading it every single day. So since I'm kind of having in this mindset of like trading as much as I can, for quick scalps and stuff, we're going to have these ups and downs, but hopefully it's an uptrend, not a downtrend. So we'll see what that brings us. We'll see, what ends up happening with this account. But overall, we were up almost $300 after this trade. Now we're only up $20 again, with a pretty weak gain percentage, weak average trade. It's actually wrong. It's not doing it correctly. But we do have a 62.5 win percentage, so that's not the worst. We are 5 out of 8, and technically we'd be 6 out of 8 if we didn't take this trade. We oversized in this one, and this one, honestly, I'm really not mad at the size of that loss. That's definitely not out of the realm of something we can't recover. We could definitely recover that within a trade or two. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get a better example or a better trade opportunity, and see if we can get into it and catch a nice gain. Again, I'm not really focused on the gains. I'm really just trying to get into a good setup that I think is a good position, instead of trying to fight the trend like I did today. I fought the trend today, and I got bit in the ass for it. So we'll move on. We learned from it. And yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pretty nice loss again today. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yo, what's up, gang? I don't like to normally do this. I should probably wait till the end of the day to do my videos, I guess, so I don't have to keep making new ones. But I don't really know how to link these, so all three of these are pretty much the same link. But I should have just waited till I got to this one, to the end of the day, and then add this in. But you can see I held for almost an hour on this recent trade here. We bought in at 2 flat, sold at 320 for almost 60%. We got about 59.5%. The trade was kind of towards the end of this candle here. If I actually go to the 5-minute and show you exactly where, it's kind of hard to circle it, to be honest with you. It was towards the end of this candle right here. It was at 10:54 or 10:54 my time, sorry. But ended up getting in as it broke this. I waited for the 10-minute. I think what I'm gonna start doing now is if I do see an uptrend on a day, I'm gonna start waiting for an for a break on the 10-minute chart like Devin does. But we got a break of the 10-minute kind of here at first, and then it pulled back up, kind of held here again, and then the next candle broke. So I think I entered a little early actually, but I should have waited for the 10-minute break and then entered on that candle, or waited till the next candle to show continued rejection, and then I could have stayed in. But I think on uptrends, a break of the 9 EMA on the 10-minute is going to be my new rule. If you go down to the 5-minute again, though, I actually exited toward the bottom of this candle here. It's so hard to see because I have amazing ovals here. But on the 5-minute, though, bought in as it broke the 9 EMA. Love the rejection, love the continued rejection. And I decided to sell here because I saw the contract. It was holding up fairly well considering it was the same day. But since it had already been an hour, I was like, you know what, maybe this should be my cutoff point. I probably shouldn't try to hold longer than this, even if it does continue lower. Also bought a cheap contract because it was already kind of my 4th trade of the day, and it was kind of excess. I really shouldn't even have been in this trade. But I did like the breakdown, and it looked like I had tried to trade this a couple times before, but this was definitely the time to do it. I should have just been more patient on my previous trades. And then I could have been in even a better contract on this trade. I could have made even more, but that's on previous me, really. So just going to try to move past this, but it's a good win to kind of recover some of the mental pain, I guess you could say. Not really, though. It's a bad example. But still good to get back on track, and now we can start focusing on better quality trades throughout the rest of these trades on the trade log. But hopefully this trade review was helpful. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of the levels. Again, if you guys ever need help with how I'm getting some of these levels or zones, just tune into my daily live streams. I break down everything every day on there. Where I'm getting my levels from, my zones, my whatever you want to call it, my TA. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later on. All right, 10-minute 9 EMA broke. I think you're about to get a really big drop here very soon if we do not get back over this area right here. I'm just going to leave my cursor there. Yo, what's up, BB traders? Glad to have you all back for another episode. I think this is episode number 8. I think, let's see, what episode is this? Yeah, episode 8. Episode 7, we had that recovery win at the end of the middle day yesterday, I guess you could say. Got that top. Kind of did a similar trade as we did yesterday. Let me show you the 5-minute real quick. So the levels are all from the daily time frame, of course, and then we had a couple of smaller time frame. I kind of left my chart clean today, and I just focused on the previous day low to the high of the last red candle, which creates that area of demand where price caught support, reversed, and moved higher towards the end of the day. Then going into today, we saw them reverse through it, reject it, and then today we saw them push up to it, reject it again, reject it again. On the second rejection, after we had that first major push and then the second kind of confirmation push that couldn't make that new high, that is when I started to look towards the 10-minute and started to look for a more passive reversal. Remember, we made that rule yesterday. We're going to start to look for reversals under the 10-minute 9 EMA, and that helped us out today. So we ended up getting a good kind of touch under it, then we got a break under it, and then we got a reversal with the wick. And our trade's pretty much within this candle here on the 10-minute, but again, we were just looking for this here. This break here gave me confirmation of like, all right, we're definitely reversing. As long as we start to push maybe under these lows here, we'll have good confirmation. As long as I hold under today's open, we should be okay. So that's kind of where I was keeping my stops at. We ended up entering a little bit higher than the 9 EMA in the middle of this candle. Oh wait, I guess I should show this first. So today we had we bought 2 contracts at 480, which kept us just under 1,000, which was our goal. We ended up closing them at 540 at 1080 complete. So that was 120, but 118 minus commissions for about a little over a 12% trade. And it was about 1 minute and 23 seconds, so not long at all. Move this back. What was I saying? But got in on the trade during kind of the middle of this candle. I wish I would have bought later, to be honest, because then I probably would have waited to buy towards the beginning of this candle, or waited till this candle and this candle, and then I would have entered later. And the trade probably would have been a little bit longer, to be honest, if I would have entered a little later. So my entry was a little bit early in my opinion, but the strong confidence in the 10-minute close was really what got me. So maybe I don't need to enter so quickly all the time, but I do like that I got in on that using just that simple method. Again, waiting for a good close into the 10-minute and then looking for a better entry on the 5 or the 1 minute to give myself my true scalp that I'm looking for. But we ended up taking it. The price did push up, low volume though. That kept me in the trade even though we had the higher close on the 1 minute. But again, on the 10-minute, it was just a slight push above the wick, or a slight push above the today's open. It really wasn't anything crazy. You could see at 385.85 there where we pushed above. We only went up a little bit. The next candle went a little bit more, and then it pulled down instantly and started flushing through that support, flushed through where I entered, flushed through this little short-term support. So I started to go towards closing it, and then I waited a little bit to see if the next candle was just going to flush through instantly. Since it didn't, I got out towards the it was like the first 20 seconds of this candle I got out. So that helped. Next candle, yeah, I definitely could have made more. We even got the retest, but again, I'm trying to go for size with quickness. I'm not trying to go in with size and hold a trade for super long. I want to enter as much as I can, and then I want to exit as quick as I can. So doing pretty good following that strat, but there's definitely more we can sharpen on. But I am glad we already started to apply the 10-minute EMA rule that we were talking about the other day. Literally yesterday we were talking about this in the last video. So I'm glad we already started implementing some of the things we were kind of reviewing. We talked about a couple of things in this video already, what I could have done better on. We talked about stop loss, entry, exit, all that good stuff. My goals, I don't really have any goals for this account, really. It's just have fun, really have fun with SPX. Try to enjoy taking quality trades. Try to keep getting better as this progresses. Of course, I will make mistakes, but of course, we're going to continue to surpass them regardless of what mistake we hit or what happens. And we're going to keep trying our best to maintain our discipline. Therefore, we don't have to keep backtracking. And if we do ever backtrack, at least we won't be completely erasing all of our progress. So trying to keep up with it. Right now on SPY, let's go back to my single chart. And by the way, I was doing that all with a single chart. I just wanted to show you guys the double chart so I didn't have to look at it back and forth. But there's the tip of the day too. Be sure to read that. It's just something I typed up while we were in the stream today because I had a couple people ask me what was the trade or how did I do it. But yeah, had fun with that trade. I think today was a good recovery trade. As you guys can see, we have had a couple nasty red trades that have hurt us, but overall, not just growing back money-wise, monetary-wise, but also growing back mentally, emotionally. You know, taking a couple of these trades did kind of piss. I would say this one, even though it was big, it really didn't hurt me because it didn't really affect me because I knew emotionally it was just something stupid I'd done. But this one right here, even though it was way smaller than that, it pissed me off. This trade pissed me off, and I should never have been in that trade like that. That was just a dumb mistake, and that's why it pissed me off. It wasn't the fact that I lost or that it was that size. It was just what I did was so just dumb. So I'm definitely going to not make that mistake again. We're going to definitely try not to make that mistake again. This I was okay with, half-assed. It was probably a trade I didn't need to be in, and then this loss wouldn't have been as bad, but I'm still not really that mad about that one. But two really good recovery trades, that end of day reversal with a quality entry and exit, and then another good, maybe early entry, but a good quality exit. So I'm very happy with that trade, and then we'll add our video link here. Chart's still updated, and then we'll continue on. Hopefully you guys enjoy part of this trade. We do have a 70% win rate, which is kind of on our side too. If you ever watched any of my swing trading videos, I would take, and this is my only issue really, and this is what we're going to definitely get better on as we progress with this, and I think doing this with y'all will help me a lot, is if the more smaller losses I take, the better I do, because I will always go on these like crazy win streaks, and then I'll just blow it all in like 2 or 3 losses, and it's like, dude, why am I doing that? You know, so it's like, I just need to keep maintaining keeping my losses as small as I possibly can, because I have a very high win rate on swings and scalping. I just need to use that to my advantage correctly, not, you know, jump the gun and just get overly cocky or overly confident or anything. I just need to maintain, trying to take a setup like it's something I've never seen before, you know, like just because I took this trade shouldn't affect how I take this trade. You know, if this trade's $10,000 gains, okay, cool. If it's a $500 loss, okay, cool. We move on. This trade here should not be affected by this trade. So that's how we need to kind of keep it. Of course, I'm not actually going to try to take a $500 loss or a $10,000 win. I'm just saying, it's just as example. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. I definitely am. It's been helping me a lot with just trading and getting back into scalping again, because I was kind of in the swing trading mindset for a while there. But this is definitely a scalper's market with all the news-driven just data that we keep getting over and over. So just having fun scalping. Maybe we'll get into swing trading pretty soon again too. But just enjoying myself really, and thankful that you guys are enjoying the content and all that. Hopefully it's helping you guys as well with some of the entry-exit talk and all the risk management we talk about. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys again, and see ya. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Bueller here again, and I honestly didn't think I was going to be taking another trade today. I even walked away for a little while, especially after seeing the crazy amount of consolidation that we had today. But just to kind of give you a rundown, this video is a little different than the rest of them because I actually had a recording of this one. I've had a recording of a couple of the past trades, but they were just so, like, quick, and it was just so pointless. Also, my orders don't pop up because I'm on the SPY chart, not SPX. I don't watch SPX to trade SPX. I just trade SPX based on SPY because I like how much SPX moves. So I'm basically still just trading SPY. But the big thing, just to kind of show you what I was looking at, entry and exit, by the way, but let's just get that established. Entry was break of the 9 EMA and the 388.66 level, which we'll cover that level here in a second. And then I sold within a few minutes later. It was just under 4 minutes. It was like 3 minutes 50-something seconds. But that was when I sold. Looks like if I would have held longer, I would have done awesome. But since they were same days, and I held through some upside before getting out for profit, was kind of pressure on me, you know. So it was like, all right, I just want to get out soon. So that was kind of why I got out while it was happening. Plus, that was the increase in volume. It was pushing, and then as it started pushing back up is when I got out of the position. So I got out before it wicked all the way back up, and then this candle hit, which would have definitely slowed down a little bit of the contract momentum. But then this definitely would have brought it down. I think it even tripled the contract. But again, never sit here and never go, oh, I wish I would have held the triple the contract. That's crazy. I did that. It's like, dude, be happy with what you did. You planned out what you went for, and you took profits. That's awesome, you know. And this is the routine you need to follow over and over. But the trade we took was a 38.70 put same day. We bought 5 at, I was actually trying to buy 3, but the price kept reversing back up to the upside before this trade started. Like, it was like down here it was like over here when I was looking at it. I failed to get in here, and then I started chilling, and I saw how much it kept coming up, so I kept watching it. At one point, I was like, I'm going to buy 3, then I'm going to buy 4, and then by the time I got back up to there, the contracts were under 200. I was like, screw it, I'll just buy 5. And it still was only 825. Compared to all of my trades, that's the... I guess let's go from the top. At a lot of my heavier trades, that wasn't even in the top 5. Top 6 even. That was the 7th largest trade. It didn't even get there. So that was cool. So that's why I bought 5. Then we sold 5 at 220 for 1100, and that got us a almost 33% gain. As you can see, it's our biggest trade. Gain by profits, not by percentage. Our biggest percentage play was that one that we did end of day the other day to recover part of our losses. But today we have beyond recovered them. We're even beyond where we were to begin with. We're at 528 gains now, 72% win rate. I have to adjust this manually, but 8 out of 11, just to show the win rate so we can keep watching that. Still not happy with some of these losses. I am a little happy and relieved to have recovered those losses, but it wasn't really the losses that kind of got to me. It's more the trade and the quality of what I was doing that kind of got to me, that really kind of pissed me off about that. So I'm happy to recover it, but it still doesn't, erase what I've done. So we still need to keep in mind what we've learned. We did interpret again, just like on this trade, we interpreted the 10-minute, the 5-minute, all combining, just kind of getting time frames kind of on the same level, kind of give us on the same page. The trade, though, we took this morning was the 120. You guys saw that trade review already. This last one, though, was 275, so that was really awesome. Very happy to report that. And before I go to the recording of the trade, I wanted to show you that the entry and exit was right here, just so when you see it, you're not so confused because the orders don't pop up. But we took break of 9 EMA, 388.66, and then took profit shortly after. I told y'all why. The main reason that I had it marked like this was on the 10-minute, I saw we had this like very consistent like high here. We kept getting these wicks here, and on the 10-minute we had this consistent high here. So I marked the high there, which on the I think that's on the 5-minute too. Yeah, on the 5-minute, that's pretty much like the meat of that high for the most part. So I was kind of just watching that general area after a little bit. I had previously come back, and I had just now started seeing it wick up after this huge breakout. I posted the breakout in the chat if you guys want to go back in the Discord and review it. But I had posted this here. I had posted this hammer at the pre-market low support because I had a lot of volume step in, and then pretty much from there we've been on the uppity up. But they held the EMA, pushed up, and then ever since we hit that resistance, we just could not get past it. So that's pretty much what my main focus was when I was looking at this trade. I didn't even really use much fibs or anything. I was just kind of watching all the levels together. But I just wanted to make the entry and exit clear before we watch the recording because it is kind of hard to see it since it doesn't show all the stuff and I can't draw on this chart. But here's the, it's not the beginning. Here's the beginning. And I just kind of want to like commentate over it a little bit just to kind of give everybody a preview of what we were looking for here. So we have that 388.66 marked from the 5 and 10-minute, kind of the meat of the high of that area. And we're really just looking for a rejection to get us into the trade or give us some sort of confidence that, okay, this trade is looking a lot better. We can skip ahead a little bit. So here we have the 5-minute chart. Here we have the 1-minute chart. And you can see on the 1-minute chart, we've already broken below. So we've already entered this trade on this candle here. I can go back and show you. We started entering probably about towards the last 5, 10, 15 seconds of this candle. I can go look at the exact second here in a second. But I promise you, we started buying towards the end of this candle, mainly because we like that it's re-rejecting 388.66. And our main goal is to make it to the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, maybe a little bit past it. On the 1-minute, our goal is to make it to this low right here and maybe even this blue area or very close to it. The very next candle, we get a buyer reaction trying to hold that other little level we have there from the bigger time frame. This one's from the, I think, 10-minute, but it's not as important. I think I was just drawing a zone. As you can see, they're bouncing it. They're holding over 388.66. So now I'm like, all right, I need to either cut soon. If there's a good increase in volume, I definitely need to exit this, or this is not going to be favorable for me. See, they're still just kind of wicking, so nothing crazy happens. I guess I'll let it play out. It's only like a 4, almost 5-minute recording. And we just kept getting price action just kind of staying up against that 388.66. I didn't really see it holding it that well. Here on the 5-minute, though, you can see we have a very indecisive candle holding there again. So a very 50-50 spot to be looking for this trade. But I like the risk reward. And we did just barely close over it, but nothing really crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to risk it. And if this next candle doesn't have volume, I'll continue to hold. If it does ever pick up volume, I'm going to get out of this trade. Or if it makes that new high, I'm going to get out with a pretty sizable loss probably. But I still like the risk way up here, kind of against those highs after the continued rally. Plus, you got to remember, this isn't the first time they got up here. They've been up here once, twice, third time. So they're going to make their decision very soon if you go by the rule of 3. You can see here on the 1 minute, we're starting to struggle a little bit. Oh, move back to green. But we started struggling there, and you can see the volume way down here. I know the button's in the way. But you can see the volume, it's low. You know, it's nothing really incredible. So it's kind of keeping my confidence there a little bit. I'm like, all right, you know what? This is starting to look a lot better. Maybe I'm not going to have to cut this trade. If that would have closed over that level, though, I probably would have cut. But the fact that it turned red right there at the end, I was like, all right, you know what? It didn't have a lot of volume. It didn't really show any kind of reaction to really hold that strength that it was trying to push above 388.66. So I'm going to just continue to hold. Then the trade just kept moving to the right. I think it has another green candle that turns red here, and then it continues lower. Yeah. And I didn't sell till I got to like about here, I think. So we'll just skip ahead. You can see it's just dancing around those levels there. Nothing to push me out of the trade. You can see right there it closed under again. It's like, all right, it's time to be very happy about being in this trade still. This should be a flush very soon, and I should be exiting very soon for a scalp trade. And here it is towards the end of this candle. I'll move my mouse. Towards the end of this candle, I see on that 5-minute chart, I wanted to exit towards the low of that, towards that blue zone. We got towards it, so I started to sell. I didn't sell at the low of that, though. It was as it was pulling up. So I lost a little bit of the momentum. But as you can see, I did very well on that. And it did move lower, as you guys saw from the chart I was looking at previously. It did move lower, and yeah, I could have tripled where I sold. But again, we're not focused on what we aren't in control of. Like, yeah, it would have been nice to make more money. No duh. I think we can all agree on that. But is it really fair to sit there and say, oh, I planned that? No, because I didn't plan that. I planned to sell as soon as it got near that area or as the momentum started shifting. So close that. Momentum started shifting. Got out of that as soon as it was wicking back up and got out. Didn't have to worry about anything. The other trade that I wanted to show, I didn't take this trade. This was just from chat. We already showed y'all the other trade on the other video. But I liked this big movement here. I'm on the 1 minute. I was like, what the heck? But a reversal that I thought was kind of clean, just something extra to add into the video, because since it's already going to be a long one, is we had this really nice hammer pop up, one of my favorite candles. You guys know it, at that 380, 389 with very large volume, a lot more than the previous candles, as you guys can see, as they were consolidating. So very, very nice reaction. Got an inside bar, got a clean reaction with rising volume over the 9 EMA, another rising volume, another rising volume. They kind of battled it because they hit that next area. So from this candle, you want to go to where that high is, and as long as it can hold kind of the halfway or golden pocket of that move from the reversal spot, that's a really good sign. So they had to build some consolidation because they hit that spot. So it's like, all right, we need to get some footing first. Then they made that higher low, and they continued on. Beautiful, beautiful continuation. And then that's when we got that end of day consolidation before this trade hit. So pretty nice move to the downside after they ended up holding that area and then moving higher. If I go back, you can see the area that they kind of rejected a bunch of times and then traded over and held towards the end of the day was that previous day low up to the high of that last red candle, which made our area of demand, which actually turned into supply for a while today. Supply, and then it turned into demand at the very, very last part of the day. So that's pretty cool. But awesome breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoy the trade. Hopefully you guys enjoy the breakdown on this. Y'all guys have seen me on my wins. You've seen me on my ugly losses. You've now seen me on my beautiful wins again. So hopefully we can keep this streak alive. We can just keep it going. We seem to have a really good win rate, so I'm really not worried about it. We just need to keep our losses at bay. So as long as we do that, we should have a successful time with this account. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you guys for tuning in again. What's up, Bueller gang? So I'm gonna do the trade review over my most recent trade. I don't know if this will be the last trade of the day, so I'm gonna wait till the end of the day to post this. If I take another one, I'll record it and then I will go over it, and then I'll add it on to the end of this one, and then I'll upload them entirely. If this is the only trade I take today, then this is it. I'll just upload it at the end of the day. But today we took a, if I get my screens right, there we go. Today I took a 9.29% gain on 2 contracts. We entered at 420, exited at 460. It was a very small gain trade. We also didn't risk as much as we could have. We could have definitely risked a little bit more. But since I'm still trying to get myself into the swing of things, especially with this type of entry, I can't wait to go over this because this is probably the one you'll see a lot of besides the 10-minute one you've been seeing me do of the like breakdown of the 9 EMA. This is probably the other variation of trades you'll see me take to the downside besides the 10-minute EMA reversal, which I'll show you. Didn't even hit yet. Actually, it's just now hitting. I'll probably trade another one pretty soon. But overall, a big thing that kind of hit was... hold up, sorry. We had a break of the 9 EMA. That's one thing to take note of. But pretty much everything TA-wise is on the 1 minute. But we had a big push up to the upside to the 396s, and then we ended up having a nice, pretty big reversal to the downside that ended up hitting 394.56. That was the first time we had a real reversal to any size for the most part of the day. You know, we had this one here this morning that kind of ended up making a double bottom, and we had just a big rally, short term, short term, short term. This one was nice, but it was really just retesting the bottom of a known area, so it's not like it was just popping a high and then randomly dropping. Like it was just going because it hit the top of the range, it came down. So that one made sense even though it was large, which that could have been a pretty good trade too using the same technique. Got a high here, you end up rejecting, you end up getting a break into the 9, you end up getting another push. So that would have been a pretty good trade there too. Another kind of failed one there. They decided to break through there, push the new high on this candle here. Had that new move, so that was clean. But the trade, jump to it. The trade was as we took from the high of day to low of day, or high of day to the low of that bigger pullback. I just grabbed that fib, waited for it to come back up to here. Wanted to enter here. I kind of hesitated a little bit. Saw this hammer. It gave me more confidence again. And then me and Leland actually took this trade together. I entered this at 420, and then I waited 1 minute, another minute, and towards the kind of middle or beginning of this candle, it sold pretty quickly and ended up getting down to here. As I started to see it kind of slow down a little bit, I got out and I was like, you know what, I'm happy with that. I like how this, I didn't like how the contract was moving as much because it didn't move as much, and I looked back and I was like, oh, you know what, I should have grabbed like it was a 39.35. I should have grabbed like a 39.40 or a 39.45, so it would have been a lot more closer to in the money, and the delta gamma would have increased the contract extrinsic value much more. But it didn't, so, or I didn't grab the right contract, so whatever, not going to complain about it. I was really just happy with the trade. What I liked about it is that price came up, made this high, made this lower high with this inverted hammer, like one of my favorite candles again, and then it broke the 1 minute EMA, with not a lot of volume or anything, but it broke the EMA after the lower high, and that's what really kind of gave me my confidence to get in. I didn't really get scared here, because it really didn't go anywhere that far. My stop loss is most likely going to be past this hammer or maybe past the control point, kind of in that general vicinity though. I don't want to hold trades that long when they go wrong, because the losses can rack up. But overall, after those 2 minutes went by and I saw this dump, I was kind of happy about that. And I was like, you know what? I see we're kind of approaching the top of that first reversal candle. I might as well start to exit there. Very happy with that. Maybe in the future I can learn to go heavier here, scale out like most of the position here and try to make it to the bottom of that move. And if not, just lower my stop loss and then just take smaller wins on that last contract or something. So maybe I can work towards doing that in the near-term future. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the strategy of going heavy, going in, going out really quickly. This trade ended up being like, what, 2 minutes, 43 seconds, you know. So, and a lot of my nice trades happen very quickly. They don't happen in the course of, you know, which that was still a good outcome, but trades don't need to be for 58 minutes when I'm entering with size. But again, this trade wasn't with size. These were, so that's the difference behind that. But overall, happy with this account so far. If you scroll over to the right, by the way, you can see a bunch of cool totals at the top. And then we also added this. Marente gave me a cool little code thing. I edited my little chart, and then I added this here. But this is the profit loss per day. So now we can see that a little bit easier. The bottom one still shows profit loss per trade, so we can still mess with that or edit it how we want. But I'm happy with how this looks, so I'm going to just leave it like that, kind of keep it up top. And now we are officially 12 trade. I had to like double check. We're officially 12 trades into this account. So doing pretty good. We're officially what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 12. That's like 75%, right? Oh, I don't have my function here. I was gonna add it here. I just realized it's not there anymore. I think it's like equals average. What did I say? 9 out of 12. Yeah, so it'd be 75 percentage. Yeah, 75%. So that'd be my win rate is 75%. That's not bad. But again, we just need to keep focusing on aiming for not trying to get rich, just keep aiming for just good trades. If we aim for trades like this and repetition continues on, then we'll turn trades that are like this that are $80. We can turn an $80 trade into $300, $400, $500 simply by grabbing the right contract or sizing it correctly or just getting the right variation of the breakout. So I'm just not going to complain. Going to move on. I like how this trade went. The lead test. Remember, again, the lead test. I'll type it out so you know it. The lead test. It's a very clean entry. It takes a lot of patience, but it has a very high probability outcome. So definitely going to try to abuse it a lot more. Leland's also been posting a lot of content. Be sure to check out the latest video on the public part of the channel. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'll see you on the next one. And if there's another trade, I'll put it on the end of this video. What's going on, BB gang? Closing out the week. It's second week of the account, but week and a half really. It's been like 7-8 days in the account actually trading. And we're up over a little over, I guess I'll pull up the sheet. Up over a little over $700. Today though, I don't know if it's really a rule that I broke or anything, but I did accidentally trade Nvidia in this account. I meant to do it in my other account. I did it in this account. And then at the end of the day, I saw that we were close to, which I'll get to that thinking, but let's get to both of these trades. But we made over pretty much 101 bucks. But after commissions, it came out to 99. So we did really good today. Our new win rate is about 78.5%. Our average trade percentage is a little over 9%. And then average trade, we get about 50 bucks per trade on every single one of our trades. Oh, this must be the win percentage. Okay, my bad. We're up 33% on the account of our starting total. Up a 705, up 33% since the start of the account, pretty much is what that says. This is per day, by the way. This is per trade, just so you know. But today we took SPX call. After we made some lows, we made a retracement. I pretty much did a lead test, but to the upside, which is a very common theme. Pretty much most of these trades have been quick scalps from the EMA or a level or a break of the 10 EMA, and we look for a reversal on a smaller time frame, or a lead test, which is what we've been going over the past couple weeks in the streams a lot. So make sure you tune into those. But we made about 70 bucks on that, and then on the Nvidia trade, which I'll also cover that, we made about 30 bucks, which that was supposed to be a swing. And then I saw that we were pretty much up 100 bucks. I was like, you know what? I'm happy with this. This makes my day a lot easier going into next week, especially because we had some of these losses, and then we had that big win. So I'm just trying to maintain a decent outcome. I'm not trying to look to get rich on these days where we're heading into very important news events. So very happy with that. Really, I'm just happy with my win rate. I'm very happy to see that we have a very high win rate. So even if we do take our losses, as long as we minimize them, we will continue to grow. Let's get into the trades though. So the first trade I took was on SPY. This was the main, or SPX, sorry, but I was looking at SPY like you guys have been seeing me do every video. But we made this big reversal, hit this low, kind of came up, and then we kind of fought over here for a little bit, and then we broke down lower, and then we made base at the low of day, really, the same day low, and then we built up off that, and that's where I started to play that long. It wasn't on the 5-minute though. I just wanted to give you an easier look at it, so you don't have to worry about that. The levels that I have here, the zones, are from the low of day. This is which we went over all of this in stream live. I even covered my trade live if you want to go check it out. But we had a low here before the reversal to the top of the last red candle to create an area of demand. I did that to this area as well because this is kind of where we were holding as base. So I was seeing if we're going to make a new low under that or not. We ended up making a new low under that, and then not just doing that, but also rejecting the area of old demand, turning it into supply, breaking down lower, breaking that new low, and then that's what got down to this low of day over here. So zooming in, now that you have a little bit of context on how we got here, got into the demand down here, held. I liked the kind of rising volume on the sellers, but then I like the rising volume on the buyers as well as they were picking back up. The 5-minute and 10-minute started picking back up. Again, if you want to go check out the stream from today, I really would. I broke down the 1, 5, and 10-minute really well all at the same time, just so you can get a good kind of intro to how to kind of go through your time frames correctly. But we ended up getting into the trade as it kind of after it pushed up, made that high, came back down, hit the 50%, which again, if you go from the low to this high, which this impressed me because it happened so quickly, but if you go from the low to the high of this move, which went from demand to old demand, which is now supply, it hit it perfectly. And the halfway point of that move was 389.30. So I made sure I add that control point. We ended up holding it with a nice hammer, came back up with a nice candle that popped above the EMA, held this candle here, and I was like, you know what? This is a good 50-50 candle to get in on. I missed my chance getting that hammer, so I'll catch a late but more passive entry. So I ended up getting here. Doing good here. Didn't really see anything crazy to exit super soon, so I just kind of held it. This definitely gave me a scare at first because it came back down. Only lasted a couple seconds though, so it instantly pulled back up, and it's good. I didn't want to cut yet, which that would have been just a decent sized loss. It wouldn't have been anything crazy since we only had one contract. But if we had been in multiple contracts, that would have definitely have been very scary to hold through. But it ended up picking back up, holding. So I'm very happy that it didn't end up screwing us there. Which I was looking to break or close this trade if it broke the 9 EMA short term, which it did there. So I was kind of risking it. But it ended up holding the next candle, and it just kept chopping. And then we finally get this push, and I was like, finally. And I started to sell towards the bottom of that previous demand that turned supply. As it went to the top of it, I sold near the top of it. I didn't quite get the top. I could have made, I think, another like $70 or something on the quick momentum, but I was very happy with what I did considering what I had to hold through. And it was just a perfect example of what Leland talks about. You know, he always talks about, you know, price to come down, build your base, you know, come down, hold that low, and then, you know, build off and break that high right there. And this is where you want to be entering, is on that break or right before that break after that higher low, right? We had the low, we had the retracement to the halfway point of that rally, and then they gave me a passive opportunity, and then they continued onward and hit that top of that part. So I literally followed the lead test to the T based on his videos, which is what I'm trying to aim more towards, because it is a very passive, and honestly it gives you a lot of confidence type of entry. You feel like you learn a lot out of it. There's a lot of rules to it, but it's very patient. You maybe only see 1 or 2 of them a day, if at all. But they're very passive. You can have some confidence in them, and if you do lose them, it doesn't really discredit you or discourage you, because you know that it's a very strong trade and you're very happy with it. But that was the trade I took today on SPX. That was the one from 7 to 770, and I'm honestly glad I didn't have a second contract, because it's not about making money in this account to me. It's about making good trades that also feel good. I don't want to enter a trade with too much money and it feel like I held randomly. If I would have hit that low and had multiple contracts, I would have maybe thought about cutting one of them or both of them even, and that would have been a very bad L. But that ended up pulling it very quickly, and I had a little more confidence because I only had one. If I would have had $1,400 in this position, that would have definitely given me a little scare. So I'm glad I only had one. That's a very good rule. Now the second trade, the trade that wasn't supposed to happen, NVIDIA. So the big thing with NVIDIA is that, and you can look here, monitor, we entered this position at 1437. So we entered it 23.5 minutes before the market, 22.5 minutes before the market opened, and then we closed it literally right before close, 16 seconds before close, mainly because the TA that I liked was the reversal from this area here and possibly come back down and possibly retest the halfway point of this candle here. So probably like 248, maybe come down to 245.60s, maybe come down and test this resistance right here, maybe even test the 9 EMA. You know, one of these general areas here is kind of where I was looking for. But then I started to think about it more, and I was like, you know what? I'm already up $70 on the day. The trade's, you know, going my way. By the way, we entered it like what? We entered it like here. And then it ended up picking up a little bit. We were registered for a few minutes, and then it just dumped instantly. I was like, all right. So we were up 10% really quick. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take my trade and cut my winner short. You know, just make a few bucks on it, make my money, and then it'll turn it into a better day. Because I had an $80 day yesterday. I had a $100 day today, almost $300 day the day before. The day before that, make sure I'm looking at my dates right. The day before that, I had taken a really good size trade. The day before that, I had taken 4 trades. So I went from taking 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 to 4 trades back to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So I'm trying to stay on this tempo of trying to just take 1 or maybe 2 trades a day, so I'm not really overdoing it myself. But overall, I'm very happy with today. I'm very happy with this week in general. The first week, if you look at your calendar, okay, it's not going to show me calendars, just Russia. Let me click the right thing. There we go. So you can see we had this first trade at the 7th, right? So that was about that day. End of that week is the 10th, right? So from here to here, these are all of our trades in the first week, right? So we pretty much started with a decent start, very bad L that we already talked about, learned from, picked up back up from, and then kind of regained it. So we kind of just barely had a green week, right? The rest of this week, though, this week was very good. We had a lot more winners, a lot more good-sized winners. We had lower-sized losses, and there were things we learned from our losses and from our winners. So we learned a lot this week. I would definitely say this was a really, really good week, though, considering this was supposed to be a very hard week. Next week might even be harder, considering we have the Fed coming out next week, the meeting that could potentially make or break the market and where it sits right now. So I'd be very careful with that. But overall, hope you guys have been enjoying these trade videos, these entry-exit videos, talking about my thought process, the entry, the exit, what I'm doing good on, what I should do better on. What we can work on together, what we can do with the trade log, anything. But I hope this is setting a good example for you all. I hope you guys are enjoying some of the process. I hope some of you guys are taking your own trades based on this. Or finding good trades based on the strategies we're kind of providing. So I'm happy about this account so far. Hopefully we can keep it going. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Next week we need to have a fresh head going. We need to have our mindset cleared, ready to go. Next week is a whole new week. None of anything we have done up to this point matters moving forward. We can take the lessons and use those to help us do better. But overall, can't wait for next week. I hope to see you all in the live streams. Be sure to check out some of the recent videos on the channel as well as in the member section. I'll see you guys later on and have a great rest of your day. Yo, what's up, Bueller gang? So starting the week off a little slow, honestly. Didn't take a trade for a little bit. Got into a pretty nasty trade. I risked a very low amount, though, so the big loss is okay. It's not okay. It's just not the end of the world, either. So just a rough start on the day, and then I took a very heavy trade over the course of 22 seconds, which was, I felt like revenge trading, but at the same time, I was actually going for a trade, so it wasn't like I was revenge trading, but the size does reflect that, so... we'll not do that again. 22 seconds. I got out as soon as I was like, you know what? I don't need to be in this. This is just wrong. So even if it does keep dropping, I don't care. I don't need to be in that trade. But the first trade I took today, that ended up being a loss, and I also posted this in the Discord. Let me pull it up for you so you can see it all. Oh, I'm still the latest post. Nice. But SPX $135 loss, going for the early aggressive retest play from control point of the low of day to high of day. So I entered on this candle here. I held above the area pretty well too, and I liked the risk on it, so I just entered that one contract, just low risk again. I held through this move because I was like, you know what, I didn't get a strong close over the halfway point. I'm just going to stick with it. After I saw this move, I was like, all right, it's not bad, not bad. Saw this move, I was like, all right, it's holding. If I get a close over, I probably need to cut. And I should have just done so in this candle. I was kind of just holding it, not really hoping. I was just like, you know what, let's see if we get an aggressive reaction. You know how many times we've been seeing these fake moves happen. It ended up holding, and then the next candle started pumping. As it popped the new high over this candle, the meat of these candles here, I started to cut it. I think I got a higher fill, though, so it gave me that higher close on that position. So I got hurt on my exit, but the entry definitely could have been better, and honestly that trade overall was just kind of weak. The second trade, though, definitely could have been a lot more, but it could have been a lot better if I wasn't already in, or already taking that trade that kind of put me in this mood where it's like, you know what, I feel like I'm chasing trades right now. So on this second trade, all I did, and let me remove this so you can see it, is I went from high of day to the meat of the open of that green candle, which gives me my high of day supply. And then going into this move, after all this stuff, I can look for rejections here, and that's kind of what I was doing with that fib right there. Was I was going from the supply candle, basically. I go down to the on the 5 minute, and I like that it was kind of doing this 3-bar play, and it just kind of teetered here. And as this candle closed, as this candle opened, I got in, and then it made a little bit of a move. It kind of teetered up, and then I was trying to exit for a better fill, and it filled me up higher. So I only made 50 bucks on it, 45 after commission. But that did make my loss a lot smaller. So I guess I'm not mad with today's results. I'm just not happy with the trade, the first trade that was taken. The second trade was kind of quality. I like that it was against the supply. It was pulling away. I could still be in the trade right now, technically. I just didn't want to be sitting in a trade where even if I made money, it didn't really matter to me because it didn't feel right after taking that first trade. It felt like I was kind of chasing and revenge trading, just kind of like trying to make up for my loss, which is okay. But I'm just not feeling it today, and it really does feel like I'm just trying to chase my loss. So I'm gonna let that play pan out, and it looks like I would have done really well by now. We could have been closing for a lot more. We went way heavier on this second trade, which is also kind of why I exited a little early. I saw, you know what? I don't need to be buying 17. That's the most expensive position I bought so far is 1700. I don't need to be buying positions that are 1700 when my account's literally just under 2800. You know, I don't need to be putting pretty much half the account, over half of the account in a single trade after taking a trade that really didn't make sense. You know, the entry was just kind of like risky, so we put low risk on it, so it does kind of even that up a little bit, but that doesn't mean the next trade I need to go balls deep into it, you know, because this trade right now, I bet you right now it's like 370 or something, you know, and 30 bucks on 5 contracts, that's that's really, really good money, so I don't even need to trip about that. So next time, we need to adjust to making a better entry. Even if we do make a bad entry and try to make it sound better because we entered with less, it doesn't matter. The next trade we take after that kind of trade doesn't need to be heavy. So that's the lesson I'm kind of learning from today. It looks like I'm paying for it because this contract would definitely be up a lot more. Let's go look. Yeah, it's 390 to 410. 390 to 410. So let's say 390. $50, that's $250 I could have recovered my day, but because I was mentally not healthy or mentally stable, I got out of my position a lot quicker for worthless gains pretty much, which again, not a bad entry. I think this trade was good, but it was affected by the decision of the first trade and by the decision of oversizing in the second trade. So that was my only mistake today. I'm definitely going to work on that. We had a problem with it up here, but I've been doing pretty good since then. I just need to kind of maintain with it. And then work on. So hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Hopefully I make some better decisions. I don't think I'll take a second or a third trade today. I think I'm just going to go work out or something, waste the rest of my day. And then, yeah, but I'm going to get this video up for you guys so y'all can have it. Hopefully y'all get something away from this. But something I want all of you to start working on more now. Let me delete that so we don't have that sitting there forever. Something I want you guys to work on from now on, though, is give yourself some time. So delete all this stuff. But let's say the day has been moving on for a little bit. You know, you're going into lunchtime. I want you guys to start getting better at drawing your supply and demands. So if there isn't really a big dip, awesome. You don't have to sit there and draw demands. But there was a decent one today. We had a pretty good dip to here. And before the reversal, this would have been your low of the move to the top of your last red candle. So that'd be your area of demand, which you can't use yet. You still need price to come back down towards it. But look how you could have used today's area of supply. This is what I was kind of trading off of. This is kind of what I'm trying to limit myself towards, is trading just trades off of this. If I go from a fit, this is what I want you to work on. 1, drawing these and finding these more. 2, using your fibs. So if I see this candle here, right? If I see that zone there, I'm going to draw it. We're going to draw our fib next to it, right? And if we see a break lower, so from this high of day to this candle down here, and you see a big move up through this, that invalidates that move, right? So you can use fibs in all different directions. But here on this example, what I was wanting to show you, price pushed over it, made a lower high, made a lower high, made a lower high, made a lower high, and then just kept rejecting it, double top here kind of, and then just kept pushing it down. So I want you guys to start practicing drawing those zones more at your high and low of day, and then trying to use them for back testing a mental trade later on in the day. Or, you know, if you're at work, whatever, then draw them at night and then come back to me and let me see what's up. But go like going in towards lunchtime, after lunchtime, try to find your highs and lows of days. And this can happen on any day too. I've been doing this for months now on just drawing the high of day, low of day. But please practice this as much as you possibly can. Try to make it something that you want to add more to part of your plan, and you'll end up finding a lot better passive retest plays to the downside and to the upside. So hopefully this helps you out. Hopefully you guys take this homework seriously. But feel free to DM me or send them in that YouTube. There is a Discord now for the YouTube members, so make sure to scroll through the member section on YouTube, find the link to that Discord, click it, and you guys can drop your examples and pieces of homework there if you want. Show me your scalp trade, show me your homework, whatever you want to do. But I'm around it. I want to see more of you guys practicing these zones. If you have any questions on it, feel free to ask me in the Discord as well. But I'll see you guys later on. Hopefully we can grow past this trade, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. What is going on, BB gang? We had a really, really good day today on the account. This is the third. Wait, hold up. Before I lie, let me see. That's right. Yeah. Okay, I was right. We had the third largest day. So we had that almost $400 day. We had that a little over $200 day. We had an almost $200 day today, a little higher than that one. So we had our third largest day today after keeping our losses minimized, I should say, because we kept it under $100, so that's good. Lost that 136, made that 45, so kept it under 100. And then now we recovered with a swing, which I'll go over the swing, which, again, I'm not trying to do too many extra plays besides scalps, but if I see a good play, I'm going to take it. The only two trades we've taken that aren't SPX was this NVIDIA trade here, which we got just a little over 9% on, and then which was going to be a swing, then we scalped it, and then this one turned into a swing that I grabbed end of day yesterday, which I also posted my entry in the premium chat of my BB Discord. This wasn't like meant to be a signal or anything, but Dukebot had posted it, and I'd already been looking at it as well, so I'll go over that, and then we took SPX 4000 call, which I could have grabbed more, but after yesterday when I grabbed that 1700, I was like, you know what? I don't need to go super heavy. Let me just try to grab a play that we've grabbed that's at least light compared to what we've been trading. So I was just trying to go into that range. So I only grabbed one, and then we sold it at 810. It did go a lot higher. It went to like 1100 pretty quickly after. But I was really just happy to lock in a second green trade while also still managing this trade, which I'll go over that. But really happy with the results of that trade. Here on this, you can see all my orders. 117, 100, or then 70, but this doesn't minus the commissions. That's why I like the trade log more. You can see all my orders here. We were in that trade for a little bit. You could see I typed it here, 6 minutes, 28 seconds. But we'll go over the trades now. So today on SPY, before all this drop happened, what I really liked about it, my entry candle was this one, by the way. I was just watching the 5 and 10 minute. I like that it made this candle here, so I entered, and then this candle popped up. I was like, all right, doesn't really ruin my trade. This candle popped up, I said, all right, it's starting to make my trade look a little bit better. As it started to push, I sold before it made it to this high, because I didn't know if it was going to make it to that high or not. At first, this candle did struggle, and it was kind of just stuck here for a bit. On the very first push up to here, I sold, so I didn't even have to sit through all that junk that was trading up and down. So I got out very quickly. It did go up a little bit more, and the trade could have definitely made a little bit more, because this did go all the way up to like 398.40s almost, and then it sold back off very instantly within the same candle. So definitely could have made more money, but we're not trying to buy the bottom or sell the tops, and we damn near almost bought the bottom, so I wasn't also trying to sell the top. So I was very happy about selling in the area I always preach to you guys about selling to. If you're going to buy in a spot like this, near a support, and have your risk at a good level like this, you don't need to be targeting the moon. You need to be targeting a recent high like this. Now, if I had more contracts, yeah, I could sell one here and try to sell one here, but overall, I need to be looking to sell most of my risk at the point of control, really. I mean, this is where the point of control is. If they can't get past this, then we're going to reject, and moves like this will happen. If we end up catching a move into this high and just start to hope that we get up here, you know, that's awesome. Maybe sometimes we do get that wick up, but that's not always going to happen, right? So we need to try to focus on things that are more consistent. The Roblox swing. So there's not really much to that SPX trade. The contract selection, I didn't really go that far out. I mean, it's the same day, but I didn't go that far out when I was buying the call. I think I was looking and it was like 24 delta, so it was a really, really good delta. And the fact I saw it move like 50, 70 bucks really quickly, I was like, you know what, I'll just take it like this, because I had already had to hold it for, you know, a few minutes. So I was happy with that. Actually, I think I wrote my time wrong. Yeah, I did. Here, let me go back and look. $8:49.32. Let's circle the exact entry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't enter that first wick. It was the second wick. So I did damn near enter the bottom. And then where did I sell? 8:56 on the dot. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say I sold it like right before it pumped into that high. All right, so that was the trade. I'm sorry. I thought it was that way because I could have swore I entered that, but maybe I did wait a couple of seconds more. I was also on the phone at the same time, but entered in that candle, ended up selling within the bigger end of this candle here, right? 8:56. Oh no, I sold as this candle opened actually. Okay. So I did actually make a good portion of that trade. I just didn't make the last final pump. But I'm just happy I made it to a portion of the highs there, because it really didn't help out if I would have just gone off of hope. And plus, I wasn't on the 1 minute, so that would have been easier to see. Oh, I could hold it here. On the 5 minute, it's a little bit rougher to see. All right, so let's go over the Roblox trade. The main reason for this, and ignore the charting, I was just grabbing recent supply and demand from the daily, and then a couple of these are from the weekly. I think one of them is even from the monthly, but you can see area of demand. I have it right here. There's an old area of demand right here that kind of held up that move there. There's a bigger one from a bigger time frame. Old supply, which actually helped with recent rejection. I have recent supply, and then yeah, recent demand. So that's kind of what gave me those, just to give you a quick rundown. But that wasn't really what I was focused on, though. What I was mainly focused on is that price pushed up from this recent resistance here. It pushed up from that, made its move all the way here, came back down, held the golden pocket. So I bought 5 contracts at, just to make sure I remember, 0.69, which equaled about 345 bucks. We sold at 94. But I'll show you my exits. You can see we had a lot of exits when I was showing you my trade log there. But overall, this morning when I saw it open, I sold 3 on this pump. I sold 1 when I saw it chilling here, and then as it pumped again, I sold 1 more. So I got out of the chart before it could really start to slow down. It did get a little bit more of a pump past where I exited, and I think DukeBot or my friend Barry sold even a little higher than me on his final, on most of his rest of his position. But I was just happy with that gain, a little over 107 or a little over 110. What was it? Yeah, 117. That's a really good gain. And then also following it up with that SPX trade to make it our third biggest gain day on the account. I'm very happy with that. And now we've made it 14 out of 18 trades. We have an almost 78% win rate. We're not amazing on this, but we have such an amazing win rate that this doesn't really affect us as much. So we can definitely work on this. That's not horrible, could be better, but we're up 37 and almost a half %, up $800 flat on the account. But yeah, very happy about the results so far. Almost getting to 3K here. Hopefully we can get past that, start to just keep going and start to work towards bigger amounts. And it's not really about the money. It's just about trying to make good trades that make sense. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and hope you guys enjoy the video. What is going on, Bueller gang? Glad to be here again after the full day stream. Be sure to check out tomorrow's stream as well, and then the Friday full stream. We just have a normal day tomorrow on Thursday. But today, I can proudly come to you all and say I am very restored in the trading sense of feeling disciplined, feeling on top of things, and my outcome is finally reflecting. We're finally seeing some good gains from the account after finally listening to some of the lessons we learned through some of our losses from taking stupid trades, oversizing, entering at stupid times, and really just trying to focus on the certain types of entries that we should be focused on, like the lead test. And I'm still working on making that video. But honestly, these videos are already kind of a good rubric for it. I might just go back through and cut up a couple of clips of it, or just make a very small video of the types of entries you should take or something. But overall, these scalp videos have been a very good example of what trades to go for and how they can lead to better trades, because this is just the beginning. You know, these quick trades could definitely turn into a lot more as we start to scale the account up more, grab more contracts, sell them out at certain targets, and try to take them farther. And we'll work on that, of course. But overall, just very happy with the initial idea. Of course, the initial idea was to just go in heavy and get out quick. That's been the idea throughout the entire trade log so far. That's what we've stuck to. I mean, the only trade we've really been in that long was that one we took that was from a high of day, and that was with a super cheap contract. I mean, that didn't even affect the account at all. So that was the only real long trade we've taken. Every other trade has been less than 10 minutes, sometimes most of them less than 6 minutes, as you can see just from this. But today we bought 2 puts at $39.95 same days at $4.40. So for a total of $880, we sold at $650 for a total of $1,300. So we made a really, really good amount today. So yesterday I was hyped because that was our second biggest day on the account. Today we completely flipped it. That's now our third biggest day, and we made our biggest day today. So that's awesome. Very happy to see that. And I'm honestly happy to see that since our biggest loss, we've had some nice winners and stuff, but we've also kept our losses very small. We haven't had a completely killer day today that just wrecked us since that $300 loss. That was really our wake-up call, and since then it's been on the uppity up. So I can't wait to see over the next couple trades what we get. I'm also really just happy, not because of the gains, I'm really just happy with the trades that we took, but also with the win rate. We're now 80% win rate. Out of our first 20 trades, we are now through 80% winning. That means 16 out of the 20 we won, which is really good. And then out of our 3, 6, 9, 12 days, we've been green on 9 of them. So that's a really, really good show of strength there as well. Very happy with that. We could definitely get our average trade percentage up, but this was literally at like 6% or 7% before today's trade. So that just goes to show you that some of my losses are keeping me down, and that anytime I start to get a bigger trade, it's going to increase this percentage a lot because I have so many that are just compact with each other right at 10%. We have a 12, a 9, a 9, a 9, a 2, a 9, and 8. We have a lot of percentages sitting very, very low. And as long as we keep our losses small and try to keep our winners at that size or just a little bit more, sometimes catch a bigger winner like today, then so be it, and it'll help increase our percentage there. But overall, the trade taken today was after the initial Fed meeting came out. It was as Powell was starting to kind of come to a close. It was like literally right after he finished. But the big thing that I took away was on the 1 minute. So we were kind of looking at the 1, the 10, the 5, and we're looking at this last move that happened where price kind of fell all the way from that high all the way to this low, came back up, hit this kind of golden pocket halfway point, and this is where we started to look for our initial trade. If you go to monitor, you can see I bought it 14.30, sold it 14.31.24. We're going to go circle that exactly to the T. 14.30. It was kind of as this candle was ending. It was actually, oh, my bad. It was as this candle was starting and as this candle was kind of getting in the middle of it. I didn't sell at the perfect low. My main goal was to try to get to like between this low here and this low here, kind of in the middle of that. which I got. I actually ended up selling like right as it hit it or as it was approaching it. It did sell a little bit more, reject, and then sell off a lot more, which that would have definitely paid it a lot more. But I was really just happy with playing the quick scalp lead test like we've been taking, where you get in on the quick entry under the control point, and then you get in or get out at any recent load like you can, or any main target you have on your screen. The big thing that helped me out with this trade is that all I did was the lead test. I did nothing outside of the lead test. All I did was wait for a big move to the downside. I then grabbed the fib of the high to the low of that move. I then waited for price to come back to the halfway point or golden pocket, and then I waited for either a high to come back down and make an aggressive move through the 9 EMA, or I was going to wait for a lower high, which in this case, like a couple other examples in past scalps, we waited for this more passive opportunity and got in on the lower high, liking the risk. If it passed 400 or past 399 and broke this area here, we're out of the trade. If it breaks lower and gets to this low, we're taking at least part profits, but in our case, we're scalping, so we're just out instantly. If this would have slightly popped above 399, I would have been out way before I got here, so I wouldn't have screwed myself on that. But overall, I'm just happy to see good planned out trades come to work out. I also took this live on stream. I don't know if I'll clip in when I was actually taking the trade into this video or not, but it was in stream just like a couple of these past trades have been taken. Today it was because we were doing a full day stream. Normally, if I would have cut the stream off, you wouldn't have seen me do it live. But today, we did talk about that. And the big thing we talked about in stream when I was going over that trade, I'll leave everything up that I just had on there. If you look here on the 10-minute, we were kind of rejecting the halfway point here very well. And we were kind of pushing into the 9 EMA. On the 5-minute, the exact same thing. Crunching under that control point. There's not even a good close over at all. There's 3 really nice wicks. And you can see we're rejecting perfectly at the halfway point. And then the 1 minute, like I showed you in my trade. And remember, you're not going to catch this sell-off. You're just not going to catch that. You're just not. So get that out of your head. You're not going to get that. But what we can start to work on, and this is what Leland has shown in his videos if you guys have taken the time to view them, is we can start to take a majority of our position here, like sell it, most of it here, try to cover most of our position. We can keep our loose stop up here, and then try to make the rest of that position work down towards whether it's a established low from the recent times of previous day or today, like this example is today, a bigger time frame level, the 100% fib. It doesn't matter. That needs to always be our second area of taking profit. And then anything past that is just a complete runner that's fully paid off. So we can start to work towards getting towards this over time. But I'm just going to take it slow, try to build up the account. So as we take these more expensive trades, we're not sitting here having to worry about, oh, wait, I put 1,000 in this, I just lost 50%. No, I'm not going to have to worry about that. I want to build the account up to where we can take these bigger size trades with comfortability. I don't want to have to sit here and worry about anything extra. We're already having to look at so much. Let's try to keep it at a minimal, right? So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this trade log. Sorry if I stuttered or didn't cover something. Please comment below if this was okay. Let me know if you guys need any other answers or if you have any other questions. But yeah, I'm very happy with today's trade log. Very happy with the trade log so far up to this point. Can't wait to see where the rest of our trades go. Oh, our profit loss per trade. You could see we actually broke our biggest trade too. So this isn't our biggest percentage trade. On the 420 that we made today, it was 47.5%. That reverse by the dip trade that we took, the like aggressive lead test trade we took, was 59.5%. Now, yes, it was with less money, so we made less money, but it was still the biggest percentage trade of the day. And you could see since that trade, I think it's that one, we've had a huge gain. No, it's not that one. I'm sorry. I think it's this one. It's this one. So you can see compared to this trade, it's not anything, but percentage-wise, we actually made less on this trade. So that's what's crazy about that. So we could definitely work on that too, trying to get more contracts, trying to scale out more. But really, I'm really just happy that I stuck to all my rules. We said we want to be quick in, quick out. We want to go heavy. We want to try to spend less than 1,000. I want to buy an option that has 20 to 30 delta. That option at the time I think had 0.30. It was at the top of my parameter, so it was very expensive for one. Which normally when you do that, I think it was because it was the last 30 minutes of the day. Normally when you do that, that would have been like this would have been the cost of one. You know, I wouldn't have been able to buy two. So I was very happy about that. Very happy about taking profits where I should have. I'm really just happy I got to make Leland happy because this is exactly what he preaches about to everybody. This is what I constantly go over with him in the DMs all the time just to try to better myself and make sure I'm seeing it correctly. And I have been, so I'm very happy to see that. And I'm really happy to see the outcome of the hard work finally show off on the account. So very happy about that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be sure to upload this ASAP, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream. If we reject here, that's not going to look good.
That 1 hour looks crazy.
New 30-minute candle.
Hmm.
Everybody, I'm not capping. 420 on the dot. It was a 1 minute and 23-second trade. I bought as soon as I saw this candle close, pretty much. 30. No, I'm sorry. Right as this candle opened, but after that candle closed. After I saw a lower high off the halfway point. Again, if this is just a lead test. If you go from high to low of that move, we rejected with a hammer, came down, broke 90 MA, slowly recovered, rejected it again with another hammer. As it pushed to this low right here. Between these here. Took profit.
Lead test for the win.
Back to that pre-market low. See if it cracks. Going towards yesterday low.
What did I say? A minute? What?
23.
That's my biggest day, dude. On this account so far.
Good money. Green Street.
Mm.
Yo, what is going on, Bueller Gang? How's everybody doing? Glad to have you all here again. And today we're going to be covering Friday's trades. I guess I don't need that open. Friday's trades. So I took one on the account that I've been covering with y'all, and then I want to cover another one that I kind of took with another account that I've been working with. That was a more impressive trade because of the size, but I would say this was the more impressive technical trade, though. But here you can see we took a... Where am I at? Oh, 24th. Here we go. We have our SPX same-day trade. I took a 39.30. We entered one at 14.90. And I know what you're going to say, Josh. You're oversizing. We talked about this before, and I know. But I was very confident with this trade because of the entry, and I'll show you here in a second. So we entered one at 14.90. Plus, I also was kind of testing at the monies or very close to in the money contracts because I was kind of just curious how they move. This was like a 0.50 delta. That was crazy. 34 seconds. Again, I was just testing this. Got almost 13%. Sold at 16.80. That was a very, very awesome gain, though, very quickly. But let me show you the trade real quick, and you can see the entry and exit right there. Entry was within like literally 34 seconds. You could see here on my monitor it says we bought at 10:05, sold at 10:05 48 seconds, sold at 10:06 22 seconds. So like literally less than 40 seconds. But we entered as this candle was kind of fighting to hold here, and then we sold at the 90 MA. That was my main target since I was entering such a risky contract. I just wanted to make it to that first target. I really wasn't looking to go super far with it. Again, we're just looking to be consistent. I'm not really looking to be rich in a single trade. But Josh, why did you take that trade? What was so awesome about that? So we had opened, kind of came down, pushed up, held a higher low. So we kind of had like this like channel going up. We pushed up against 392.64, and honestly, this could have been done multiple times. Honestly, like we had this like push here, and then price came down, held the golden pocket. That could have been a good play, you know, out of that move there. So I saw I was late on that one. I saw that I didn't want to be late on the next dip because I saw this dip that happened here. And I saw price had failed to actually try to reject under it. It kind of like pushed under and then rejected from it initially, but it didn't really come down here and then give that rejection. It literally invalidated at that very first push. So that didn't really have a strong push. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it does want to come back down again if it doesn't push that new high again. So I was like, all right, we'll see what it does here. If it ever does dip down, it could have definitely pushed 392.60s. Again, on the 5 minutes, this looks a little different. You can see I'm pretty much fighting the top of this candle to get down to the correction towards this area. So I'm kind of just playing off of that move. But on the 1 minute, it's a little bit easier to see because you could see the exact entry exit. But also, you could see why I grabbed what I grabbed. So we had this big push up, rejected 392.60s again, and then kind of pushed down and hit this low. And I saw we started basing, so I was like, all right, this could be a really, really good lead test play since it didn't happen earlier. It just kind of jetted through it, right? So I was like, all right, we'll go from this high. We'll go to the low of that move, which is about there. You know, either of those wicks is fine. And you can see price did push up once above the 90 MA, had rising volume, held a pretty good retracement too. You know, if you just kind of like use another fib inside of this, which I'm not going to do it just to like flood the screen, but if you go from here to here, I almost promise you this is holding like a really, really good retracement. This area here. So that was a really nice bullish retracement. It then pushed again, had more rising volume, but it rejected here again. As soon as I saw this hammer pop up, I didn't even really care about the volume. I was like, all right, I'm in. So I got in. I really liked that it was rejecting it, and since it was kind of just fighting it at first, it was more of a doji when I got in. Then it formed into a hammer. I was like, all right, great, I'm in a good position. And I was kind of looking at it like this. I'm just looking to get down to the very next recent low that it hit. In this case, I was going to the 90 MA since we popped above it. I wanted to see a retest above it. Could I have held through this move? Hell no. I only had one contract. If I had been in a different position and had multiple contracts, I maybe could have done something like that. And maybe that's something I can go for in the more near-term future. But we played the lead test to the T. I waited for a good seller candlestick pop. And I kind of used the buy the dip strat too. We kind of had that first push. They held a good retracement of that first push. And then they went up and they hit a good retracement. You know, there's no saying this has to go to the moon. It just says it's a good buy the dip strat to possibly take moves higher. It rejected perfectly from that recent high down to that recent low because we went up here, kind of consolidated, broke down lower, consolidated. So that's a really good high to low to go from. Again, drawing in the direction of the trend we're going with. And then it rejected that halfway point, pulled all the way back down, closed at the 90 minutes. I was like, you know what, perfect. Which, by the way, I had already sold. I was 22 seconds into that candle. It had been pushing, and then I started to sell. So I was very happy with that trade. But that was the lead test. Again, guys, the lead test, L-E-E-T-E-S-T. But, guys, I'm not joking. You guys should go through this video link here, this example here. A lot of these videos, I would go through them in order, of course, but overall, you'll start to see, you know, kind of the evolution of how we started trading. We went from, like, quick little moves off of EMAs and good levels to actually going off of, like, the 10-minute EMA and using the 10, the 5, and the 1 minute to help us get better entries. And then we also came down into the lead test part now, where we're just kind of taking really, really good retracement trades with good risk reward. Again, if they pop above, we're out of the trade ASAP. We're not looking to hold it too long, especially if our risk is in the right spot. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'll cover the second trade that isn't in this account, and then I'll just add it to the end of this video. But guys, we are on a hot streak, guys. We are on we went on a 6-win streak, then we had a losing trade, and now we're on another 6-win streak. So let's see if we can keep it up, or see if we can break that trend and get it to 7 or not, or if we're just gonna take another L. Hopefully, if we do take another L, it's a very, very small loss, and we're taking good risk management. But we're up $1,500 in the account. That's almost 70.5%, 70.5% of the initial account, which very, very happy with that. Definitely could get this number up, but I'm very, very happy with the 81% through 22 trades. or I'm sorry, 21 trades, we've won 17 of them. So even with our, couple slip-ups here and there, we are completely dominating this win-loss rate. So that's very, very awesome. Very happy to kind of have a good, concise couple of entries we can limit ourselves to. So when we see them pop up, we can take opportunity, not just for upside, but for also downside, which I think a majority of these trades are puts. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, not like it's completely dominating, but 14 out of 21, that is like 2/3. So 2/3 of the trades are to the downside. But again, the lead test is just so strong. That 10-minute EMA is so strong. 9 EMA, that is, on the 10-minute. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this part. I'm going to go add the second trade that isn't on this account to this, just kind of like as a bonus. It's not really to like do as like a challenge or anything. It's just something I'm doing with a friend, and I wanted to show you guys. So I'll go over to that now. What's up, Bueller Gang? Here's the second trade. I'll throw the screenshot up now, but we had a kind of a riskier trade here. Same exact setup as the one before, but of that pump that we had, we kind of slowed down up here and then had a very, very large reversal in comparison to other reversals that we had. But I went from the high to the low of that move where they kind of built back up. They had really good rising volume too, but they closed over the golden pocket. The thing I didn't like about it is that it held just under 394, and it was kind of an indecisive candle. So I entered toward the middle to the end of this candle. It was very risky. Ended up closing above, so it was very risky. If it had pushed 394s towards 394s, I was going to be out of that trade. Next candle, very indecisive. Next candle started helping me out a lot more. Next candle, I started having a little bit of trouble with my broker, and I could not exit as quickly as I wanted to. So I actually was forced to hold through this entire candle where I was up about $1,600. I ended up selling within, I think, the first like 12 to 20 seconds of this candle. So kind of the open area of this candlestick where it was kind of just dipping, holding, trying to push a little bit more, start to turn green a little bit. And then towards the end of that candle, it started pushing to that. So I'm very glad I got out of that. Very, very heavy. It was very heavy of a position, so I was very happy to take that. And plus, I took it to a further distance. You guys have seen me in my smaller account take trades from this area down to the 9 EMA. This time I went through the 9 EMA and was looking to just basically sell as soon as I saw some buyers finally try to actually pick things up. So that was a very, very good distance of the trade. It didn't happen to keep selling off, so it didn't completely pay out, but it was still a really, really nice return. On this account, we have 10K in it. I had a couple mistakes here. I made just one kind of test trade. It did really good on it, just kind of as a test. We had an error trade where we were really locked out. There was a thing where I don't really know how to explain it. It was like an error where you entered the play, but it didn't pop up on your screen, so you were like, oh, it canceled. You go to your canceled orders, you don't see it there, you go to your working, and then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, I'm still in that trade. So that was a very bad trade, but we kept it on the trade log just to kind of be open about things. But it was a very big error, so that was not even a trade that was meant to be taken. And it only lost about $400 of a $600 position. So it did lose a big percentage, but it wasn't like we grabbed like 10 contracts like the trade I took for this. The same day, that morning, I took a small, quick trade that was a loss. It was a failed lead test. I entered way too late. I should have just been waiting. Price closed over, kind of like this trade, but it had actually had volume, so it kind of screwed me. And I ended up holding it. I got out very, very quickly though, so that was actually a really good loss. I was happy with that. I just didn't like the entry, but the exit I was very happy with. And we were also only in one contract, so it wasn't completely screwing us. The next trade, I wanted to be kind of heavy. I was only going to grab 5 at first, but price kept pushing up again, as you guys saw on that chart. Price kept pushing up again when I was looking over here for a trade, and it kept pushing up over here. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait, and then I'll just grab more contracts. I'm going to watch the exact same contract that I was in. But I ended up grabbing 10 at 680, so I was about 6,800 at risk in the trade. I sold 10 on that reversal there that we saw. It was like 1,600 to 2K right here. It ended up holding, and then I was trying to get out very, very quickly. As soon as I saw this turn green, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to exit here. Ended up exiting at 790, so we made about 110 per contract, which is a really good return. So we made about 1,100. The commissions work a little differently for SPX though, so we do lose a little bit to that. But overall, this account's doing really well too. It's up about 714 in just a couple trades. So, and honestly, this is kind of getting the feeler since it's using more money, but I was very happy with that percentage, so that was very cool. But hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of extra bonus trade that I took on a different account. If you guys want to see more content of this account, maybe I can link some more of it in these videos. If not, let me know. If you guys just want to solely focus on the main account, which I totally understand. I'm more focused on this account too anyway. It definitely feels a lot better because we kind of started with not a whole lot. We added a little bit more just to kind of give ourselves better risk reward, and then we ended up doing really well lately. So hopefully we can keep this win streak alive. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going. But honestly, I hope you guys really have taken time to go through these videos because it has been a journey. I was going through these yesterday, and it really did amaze me kind of rewatching what I've been through in this account. You know, we had a couple good wins here and there, a couple losses that made us learn and made us kind of step back and remind ourselves what's more important, you know, trying to get rich or trying to take good trades with good, limited, precise, high probability entries on trades, you know, just looking for really, really good quality trades. And then we had a win streak, another good loss. So this has been a journey, and I hope you guys go through this, but I will see you guys in the next one. Yo, what's up, Bueller Gang? Back at you again with the scalp trading series, and just to make things clear, if you click on my last trade, I am sorry about this, I didn't do a video for it. It really wasn't anything special. It really was just trading the lead test again. If you hold control, zoom out, you can see my entry and exit. It was very quick. It was just again going from the move that we had to the downside. We came back up, rejected the control point, kind of golden pocket area. As soon as I saw us hit this double top, I was like, all right, I like that. And then I liked that it kind of was pushing under. I was like, all right, I'll put my risk here kind of towards the beginning. It was like first 16 seconds of that candle. And then before the last 20 seconds of that candle, within like 30 seconds, I was out of that trade. Let's see, it was, yeah, 33 seconds of that trade. I was out of that same candle just because it was so quick and I was happy with it. It did keep going, but I am working on that. Again, I'm just really happy to get these quick scalps, and that makes sense after getting multiple confirmations for these trades. So that's why I didn't have it, but that is how you access that. And then, of course, I'll have today's video links in these two boxes here. But we had our 5th biggest day, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, fifth biggest day. We have an 84% win rate through 25 trades now. We've now taken 25 trades and had 21 wins. So really, really, really good win rate. We've picked up our average trade percentage. We've picked up our average trade dollar amount per trade. We're up 86% on the account. We're looking really, really good. 5 days in a row. We're now 3, 6, 9 trades in a row. So that's awesome. How do I zoom over? It's not doing it. Oh, there it is. I was like, what the heck? So that was really good. But today we took some same days again, of course, like always. But we took some third. I didn't even realize that I did the same contract either. I thought I was grabbing a different one on my second trade, but I didn't. But ended up grabbing 3 on this one. I wanted to just be kind of light at first, or just, I guess, average, actually. That'd be my average trade size. Or trying to aim for average trade size, but that ended up lining up really well. And then we sold them at 410 within 14 and a half minutes. That was a very, very long trade. As you guys can see, that is our 1, 2, 3, 4. That is our 5th. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we had our 5th largest day today on our 5th longest trade today. So that's pretty cool. And then on the second trade, went in a little bit, same heavy size. It was the same exact dollar amount, but I had less contracts. So in my head, I thought I was entering less, but I wasn't. And then, like I said, I didn't realize I was entering the same one, so it ended up matching up. And then we sold for 1160. So that was really good. Got about 7% on that trade, 13% on that trade. I also edited my commissions. I didn't realize I was doing this wrong, but my commissions are not based off of my normal amount. SPX trades actually have good tax treatments. For 60% of your gains, they will be charged or taxed with long-term gains, and then 40% of your gains will be taxed with short-term gains. So that's really, really good tax benefit. For anybody who trades SPX and gets gains from them in a year. But I didn't know that till the other day, so I was researching that. But that is a cool little tax benefit. And just cool little factoid about SPX, it is a Europe-style, not ETF, but it tracks all the stocks. So that's pretty cool. But let's move on to the trades now. I'm sure you guys are tired of looking at the screen. So the first trade, I'm going to go through both trades in this in one go. I'm not going to even move over. I have them both here ready to go. But the first move, I really like that of this rally that we had, price started to consolidate and then it started to break down. And after it started to break down, it broke the control point of that rally, which normally you guys have been seeing me do, like, of this break. Where would it go? And that's what I kind of used initially to get me into this trade of like, hey, this is what I look for. And I missed out on this trade. I missed out on the lower high. I missed out here. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to miss out anymore. So I like that it kind of was sitting under that as well. But I really like that of that rally, it kind of was sitting there at that control point trying to break lower after already testing it, moving up and all that stuff. So it already had verified, okay, we've gone up a little bit. So if it goes down now, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely is possible. So I like that it kind of held under the control point and then started to push under. It did give me kind of a scare there for a second when it came back up very heavily too in that candle. It was a very quick reaction. indecisive candle, because it's kind of a bearish candle, but it held higher, so that was a little risky. And then the higher open, at first it looked like it was going to start pumping, and I was just have to exit that trade very soon, which I think I was about to go exit that trade. Then I saw it flush, and I was like, you know what, this trade's still looking good. I saw it sit sideways, failed to break that new low, then it broke that new low. Didn't really move the contracts much until it started rejecting and pushed this low again, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to just get out here. And I like that I did. It did move down a little bit more, a lot more actually. It sold all the way down to the low of day after that. And then it ended up making a really good trade. But that was the first trade I took. I was very happy with that. Plus, it was exhausting. 14.5 minutes in what's supposed to be a quick scalp felt like an hour, you know, so I was ready to get out of that trade. So also a little exhausting. On the second trade, as you can see down here, is a lot more tedious with it. We can erase this now. On the second trade, I took this way later in the day, a couple hours later in the day. But I like that it kind of made this move from this high. Kind of moved up, rejected, made all this move here. But off of this move here, I like that it kind of rallied, came back down, and kind of held a higher low from this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go off of this. If I like how it's holding here, which I think I did this fib. I don't want to make anything up. Yeah, I was using this fib to kind of use this initially when it rallied to see where is it going to push to. And when I saw it sell off to the halfway point, the 50% there, I like that it kind of held that and then started pushing. So it's like, you know what, maybe I can start to look for a lead test like we've been doing off of the highs here, which I just kind of went off of that candle to keep me in the trade. The fib I went off of was actually this to this. But I like that that kept me in the trade to kind of keep me in it. But I went against the control point here, against the 9 EMA. Kind of made that indecision candle. Made another seller candle again. If you remember that first trade. Wait, maybe I can do it on both. If you remember that first trade, that candle popped up like, oh, no, it was this candle. This candle popped up, and it was, yeah, above an area where I should be cutting my loss, but it wasn't really a buyer candle. You know, it didn't have a crazy amount of volume. It had all right volume, and it's a seller candle. I mean, it has a hammer on top, so it's not looking too hot for bulls. If the next candle would have held higher and started pushing, like, yeah, I'd need to get out of that very soon. Hopefully not take that big of an L. But I just thought it was weird that the exact same thing happened in the exact same day. You know, a lot of the time I either get in and get out. I don't really try to hold through moves, but I held through this move to get down to here, and then for this trade, I had to hold through this move to get to here, which I'm glad I sold this one. There's another good lesson today we can cover. But entry, again, failing the control point of the move down. It did push a little bit above, never got above the golden pocket, kept rejecting. I liked it. And then as soon as it made this move here, I didn't want to quite sell yet because I really did want to try it and see if it'd make that new low. But since I had already seen the contracts not moving too crazy, I was like, you know what, if it hits that low again and doesn't just flush through it, I'll just get out. And as it started pushing and kind of hitting around that area, I got out of that trade. So I was very happy with that. And looking back at it, if you look at it, you know, and this is why I don't let noise get in my way, because a lot of the time you'll hear people say, well, how come if you had such a good entry, why didn't you just hold it for longer? You know, if you would have held this entry longer from here, you know, you could have made it all the way to here. It's like, yeah, I could have, but I don't know that that's going to happen. I can't see the future. So I need to sell where I think is a good target, right? Get out of my trades where I think it's a good target. And then look, yeah, this one went far down and would have definitely made me a lot more money. But what did this one do? Imagine if I would have held that play and thinking it would just keep going and make a new low of day. Well, then I would be screwed, and this position would be pretty much worthless. You know, so this is why it's good to have those targets at that low of the move or wherever you're coming from for your trade. But focus on passive targets. Focus on passive targets over and over and over and over and over. As you grow more and as you have more contracts in your trade, you can start to scale them out differently all you want. But this was a great example of how to hold through moves, the variations that we get. You know, yeah, one of them sold all the way off, but the other one would have screwed me, you know, so it definitely could have evened the day out there. But I'm very happy to be up so much in the account so quickly too. It really hasn't been that long. We're 9 trades in a row green, so let's see if we can get the 10th in a row, and we now have 5 days in a row of green days. And honestly, I was very happy with the initial result of today before taking that second trade, but then I saw the second opportunity. I was like, you know what, if I take this, I'm not going to try to aim for 20 or 40 or 60% gains. If I can get 10%, if I can get 5%, I'm happy with that, because it adds on to my already successful day. I'm not looking to dominate my second trade or make it even better than my first. I'm looking to add on to the quality of that trade. So pretty cool. Pretty much took the exact same trade back to back today, seeing 2 different variations of it afterwards. So that was a pretty cool trade review. Very happy with the progress of the account. Hopefully a lot of you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully a lot of you guys are picking up some info from this, how to trade the lead test and all that good stuff. Again, if you guys haven't already, I would definitely check out the latest video on my channel, as well as Leland's live trade video, which I'll show y'all real quick where those are. So latest video you need to check is this one. This is a really, really good video to watch if you're looking to get into lead test. And then if you scroll down, hopefully I can see it. Here it is. Perfect. 6 months ago, we had another one that he did with 3 different variations of the lead test, where one worked out very well, one just kind of worked out, and he got a good passive trade on it, and then one completely failed, and it would have totally hurt if you would have held through it all. But that was a really good starter video, and then I'd say scroll up and watch the latest video, and that'll give you a good kind of intro into this as well as checking out some of these other video links where I've even adapted to trading it more. I went from taking just clean breakouts and quick little 80% entries and stuff to taking actual more passive retest and breaks of the 10-minute EMA. So a really good journey we've had so far, and I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully you have as well. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your day. Yo, what's up, Bueller gang? So today I took 2 trades. We took 1 trade on the smaller account, which this is the one I've been doing with y'all. And this one, it was small equity-wise, but it's because we didn't spend a whole lot. I just got 1 contract at 265. I didn't like the price action so far in the day. I didn't like the mood everything was in. The daily candle was very small, so not really room for a lot of, not really exciting for a lot of moves, really bigger moves that I would definitely like to take part of. So didn't really catch a huge gain on that. But I did like the percentage. The percentage was actually really good, so I was very happy with that, and we held for about 15 minutes, so we'll go over that. And then I did take a trade in my other account that I'm doing with a friend that has 10K in it. It's currently up a little over 9%, but today I took a almost $200 trade on that, a little under 10% on it, from, my bad, 540 to 590. I spent 2100, made about 2300, so got our $200 profit out of that. So I'll go over both of those trades. The first trade was based on the 5-minute. Ignore all the labels. I'm just trying out the BB system indicator to look at more for stream. But I like that we kept rejecting against the, since I don't have my levels marked, I don't remember anymore, the pre-market high. I need to remove these labels over, I think. Yeah, because they just kind of stick over there. But first trade was based off the pre-market high. I like that it kept rejecting. Came back down to the 9. I saw it reject again, so I got in towards the beginning of that candle. And then I started to push, I'll show on the 1 minute. Started to push down from there. Didn't want to take profit for smaller gains there. That was like literally 10, 12 bucks. I didn't want that. I wanted to try and hold it. We got another good rejection of this, so I got to hold through a good push up. Rejected that again, pushed all the way back down. As it kind of pushed towards these lows here, I was like, you know what? This is probably where I need to probably sell, because this is where that established low is. If you look here, this is kind of where price built up support is about right here. This is about where I sold. So I sold exactly where I needed to. Just didn't make a bigger amount because of what I had done with the more out-of-the-money contract. But I did a really good thing, because right after it reversed, and then I took another trade here, which we'll go over that. But afterwards, you could see they built base again and reversed again. So I did a really good thing just getting out when I saw that recent low. So again, having passive targets coming in for the win again. On the second trade, I bought 4 at 540 as this candle was, I think it was in the middle of that candle. It kind of opened and it was green. It pushed, it wicked back down. As I saw it wick back down and turn red a little bit more, then I entered. And it kind of finished where I had entered to, so the candle kind of stayed the same. Next candle had a little bit of a fight and then instantly pushed all the way back down, flushed. As it was flushing and hitting kind of this area here, that's where my main target was right here. I wanted to make it down here, but I was happy with what I had done, so I just took my profits there. And I had turned that into a $200 gain, so I was very happy with that. Really just happy with this trade overall, because I was very happy I held through that move again. You guys saw that in a couple of these trades here. I had to hold through a couple moves or even just one bigger move, but it didn't break anything significant, so I should stay in the trade. So I didn't make a whole lot, but we did get the account over 4K today, so that was really awesome. We've now increased our win rate to 84%, right here, 84%, and we are now 3, 6, 9, 10 trades in a row with pretty good percentages too. So we're 10 in a row, and if you count this account, we're actually 12 in a row. I'm not doing that though. I'm not trying to combine them or do any of that. This is kind of just extra content for everybody here as I'm trying to test a couple things, but loving both of the accounts so far. Love the growth in this account, almost 88% up, so very happy with that. And the trades have honestly just gotten cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So I'm very, very happy about that, and we're really just trading off the same levels and same lead tests we've been taking. There were a couple better opportunities that I saw during stream this morning. Go back to the 5 minute, and a few people had covered this too, but after we had pushed up and failed here, we had good volume here, and it was both on the only red candles on the chart so far, and we had this one breakout with not that much exciting volume. Instantly got a rejection. Pretty much any rejection from this area would have been a good short to the downside. We only got a little bit of one though in the beginning there. If you go back there, we only got a little bit of a lead test here, which I didn't really want to take that, because if you go from here all the way to that drop that it finally stopped at, they did go up here, but I was more preferring I don't know what I was looking for, to be honest. I think I just hesitated really now that I'm looking at it again. But this was a beautiful, beautiful lower high here. That would have been a really good trade to take down to this area here. Definitely could have kept runners as long as it didn't close past this. Keep runners to try and push a new low. Whatever, though. So that one had hit, and then I saw another one hit. If I go back, I saw another one hit after that fib. It was after that rally. Okay, no, maybe I didn't. My bad. I think I had covered one in stream that looked ugly, but it wasn't. Oh, my bad. It was here. It's here. And we didn't really get a good retest of that area. It kind of hit from under, so I was just like, whatever, I'll move on from that. But either way, we missed out on one, hesitated, whatever. We move on. We catch a really good small trade, but good trade in general to build the smaller account up, and then also got a really awesome gain right afterwards. I even went into the premium chat. I'll show y'all. I went into the premium chat to show people what I was doing. Where am I at? I was just telling some of the guys in chat, I was like, look guys, it broke 4K finally. Even if it was a super small gain, got above 4K. And then Leland started talking to hype me up. I said, oh, I'm flipping over to the 10K account now. It's okay. I'm not stopping. I know you're scared. Watch the SPY rejection here. And that's when I had waited for it to pop up against this again, and I got in and got that retest rejection, so that was really nice. And then, yeah, that was where it came in at. So you could see I had literally traded it within, like, a little bit after that first trade, which I haven't done too often. If you guys have noticed, I normally take like hours in between my trades. Like if I trade here, I'm waiting to trade this. If I'm trading here, I'm waiting to trade this. Like I don't just get into the next position instantly. Today was one of the first instances where I got into a trade right after. Like I took this trade, then right after I was pretty much in this trade pretty soon after. So didn't take much longer. But hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Be sure to check out the members only section. I am going to be uploading a new video to this. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Most likely will be here. But the lead test video is getting uploaded today, so I will make sure to send that to everybody. But I hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope you guys enjoy the trades. Hope you guys have been enjoying just any of these breakdowns. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I think I'm going to let this account go for another month just to get another month of scalp trading videos for you guys, and then I think after that I'm going to move on and try to find something else to do. I might still keep scalping if y'all want to stay interested in that. I don't know what y'all want, but if I come up with a new idea after a month goes by, I think I'll jump onto that new idea and then we'll focus on whatever that is for a little bit. But I want to keep the membership role exciting for everybody, so I don't want to just keep posting scalp videos. Me and Leland are also talking about doing more membership onlys, members only streams. So if you guys want to try and catch some scalps live with me and Leland as we just kind of talk and discuss, be our guests. But we're thinking about doing more of those very soon. So we'll see where it goes. I'm kind of open to anything. I'm really just going with what you guys want. But I'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys again for tuning into this video. Be sure to like it. Be sure to just keep being you. Keep grinding. Keep going through the routine. Keep adding levels, reviewing them, analyzing them. I cannot stress enough how important mental reps are. Oh, one more thing I could show y'all. So I have this channel here. Y'all can't see this, but I made a quick lead test guide for anybody who just wants a quick read. Step 1, find a rally. We got our rally. Step 2, wait for a rally to slow down and begin to base/consolidate. You can also watch for the break of the 9 EMA on the 10-minute. You can see I didn't type EMA right. Step 3, which you can see we broke it on the 10-minute, so very good, just kind of early sign of saying, hey, there's some sellers that just broke a pretty good bullish move. Once the selling stops and you see a bullish reversal, look for the retracement. Draw the fib from the high of the move to the move before the breakdown to the low of the move, price retrace before slowing down. So, sorry that didn't make sense, but go from the high to the low of the move before it started to finally show some bulls stepping in. Step 4. Look for an entry under the golden pocket or 50% fib and keep stops above the golden pocket or the double top price makes under the retracement level. Go back down. So you can see we got a hit here. We got our entry here at a double top. And even if you don't enter these two spots, you could look for the break of the 9 EMA and try to catch it towards this low, try to catch it towards this low. These recent lows would be your main targets. So that needs to be kind of just the fundamentals of what you go for. And then I said, don't be greedy. Aim for those close targets for a while. No need to rush or be uncomfortable. And you don't have to do it on the 5 to 1 minute or 10 to 5 to 1 minute. Like, you can do this on multiple time frames. This is just what I choose for quick scalps. But again, I hope you guys enjoy the content. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you guys later on, and I'll see you guys later. Yo, what's up, Ether Gang? So today we took 2 trades on stream today. One of them was a mistake, so I'm not really happy about this one. We'll talk about it though. So at the beginning of this video, or Yeah, right after I'm finished talking here, you'll see me breaking down this trade. That's from live on the stream, so that video link will go here, and then of course, same video link will go here as well. And I'll talk about the mistake that happened here. But yeah, let's get into it. Hold that thought. All right, I'm looking at 44 or 40, 45 put same day. They're at 5 to 510 right now. Rejecting golden pocket, that's a good sign. Mm-mm. 40 seconds left in this candle. That's not a bad short entry, to be honest. I want to see how this candle closes, though. I really want to play a lower high lead test. Really, really bad. Because I saw like 100 of them pop up the other day and I didn't catch one. I really, really want to catch one. What that means is I'm not looking to play this. I want to see it go down and then I want to see it make a lower high under this. And if I can get that, that's my entry. And I'm taking it down to this low. That's what I want to go for. Alright, pretty good short entry right there. Stop loss at 4, but probably best just to wait to get to this lower high like I was wanting. They're going to push it, looks like. Alright, if that pops, I'm just going to go back to talking about my example, and then we'll go back. If it doesn't, though, then I'll get in. You'll see how quick some of these trades are, though. Some of these things I'm in for like 30 seconds. Come on, give me what I want. Give me another rejection. Don't close over. 10 seconds left. Let's get the stretch. And they closed over, of course. We'll watch it for a couple more minutes. Just make sure they do hold control of it bullish-wise. If not, then we'll chill. It looks like we're really going to be in a channel type day. The lead tests aren't even working. Like, we're going to have to actually play a wider range. This happens a lot, too, when you've gapped up and you have smaller body days. This is why I was showing you all the daily time frame earlier, because this gives you less favorable moves. That's why the past couple days when I've taken these not as huge green days, like, I mean, I've had average green days lately. I'm not really getting so, you know, disconcerted with like, oh, God, man, that sucks. I didn't catch a bigger day. Oh, dude, facts hidden. I keep wanting to call you Hidden Lane. I know who you are. But no, yeah, dude. The leg shake after the good stretch is the best. Hey, Josh, joined today. Curious, do we have access to a trade log template? You do, buddy, old pal. I'll link you here in a minute. Didn't I link someone named David yesterday? I don't know who I linked. Someone like texted me today that doesn't actually have my number. I think it's just like a random person texting me, but they said the bus is on its way. I just texted back saying, huh? Number I've never seen in my life. Yo, the bus is on its way. But wait a second, David. I'm just seeing if I'm going to get a trade or not. And if not, then I'll link you the trade log. I can even link you the one that you can just straight up copy. If I can find this DM. Oh, I found it. I don't have to leave my screen. Yeah, some kid just missed a school bus because they didn't get the right text. There you go. Alright, we're getting a rejection. If we get a break here, that's a decent entry there. So far, they're still holding, though. The fact they popped up here gives you a little bit more concern of, oh crap, bulls might actually be in control here. Rather than them just straight up projecting it. And now they're trying to hold the CP. So if we get the lower high right here, that'd be awesome. Give me the lower high. I can enter 2 of the contracts I want right here. Rising volume, that's what I wanted to see. Now give me a lower close. Honestly, I kind of like this entry here. Stop loss really close above. I'm not in yet. If they pop a new high here, I won't be surprised. This might have been the transfer power candle right there. Those small body long wick candles are always the biggest pieces of information ever. Possibly getting the rejection. That might be your high of move right there if they can maintain under 404. Could be seeing a really good flush to the downside very soon. They're struggling with 404. 5 seconds left in that candle. I'm getting in. Oh, I didn't get filled. That's awesome. Go for late fill. Alright, I got in at 540. Alright, let's see if I get my 13th win in a row or if I'm about to take my first loss in 12 trades. Alright, so I'm going to keep my stop in this general vicinity of that blue area. Might have been a little bit early of an entry, but I like the lower high as it's losing gold in pocket. So really the only thing that's concerning in this trade is that we're not losing control point, but I do like the area. I'll also show you how to update the trade log once if I win or lose this trade. I really need some water though. I'm so thirsty. No delay today in the stream. Good to hear. L friend. See, the thing about this trade setup too is like you have so much more confidence playing it because like if I was to cut this trade, I'd be totally cool with that, you know? If it goes up and I have to cut it, whatever. I'm not even tripping because I know that where I entered, I'm very happy with. I've won 12 trades in a row taking this exact same trade. So if I lose it, whatever, I lose it. I know that it's a high quality setup. That's the kind of confidence you should have in your entry. If it rejects, awesome, I get to take profits. If it pushes back up, awesome, I get to cut losses and I get to put it in my trade log. It's not the end of the world. It was super cold, had a Montclair for it, I ain't even put it on. Not liking the pressure that's on these candles. I really do need that lower close sooner. This is not going to be looking good for shorts. Me, I'm in it. Pretty much flat right here. I'm like flat and down like $80 at certain points of this trade. Not really been moving too much. I high key want to go grab some water, come back and see this sell off. I don't get to go get water yet. I have to wait. Good break lower. They keep wicking it though. So probably could just take some small gains here and wait. I think I'm gonna... I got one set to sell soon, but I haven't clicked it yet. I'll just keep both. There we go. I'm going to exit. Alright, well I sold a little too late because I fucked up trying to sell it. I clicked save on some stupid button instead of sell. I tried to sell at 620. I ended up selling at 6 flat. So 60 bucks on 2 contracts, 120 bucks. We can go enter it into the trade log now. And we can go look at monitor to show you I'm not bullshitting. Let me go to trading activity. So here on the second trade, we got in here at 12:02 my time, Central Standard Time, which I figured was a pretty good entry because we already went up past the golden pocket. We broke down, we came up, rejected it with pretty good volume too. I mean, it was just volume, just average volume on an indecisive candle. It was above the 90 EMA, so that was one concern. And I kind of had my idea for a stop loss about here at the 402.65. It went up there, could never get past it, so I just kept holding. And then by the time it came back up here, I actually thought I exited. In stream, I said I'm cutting here at, I think it was 270. Therefore, I only lost 80. No, that'd be 120 bucks in the play that I would have lost. So I would have been flat on the day after making 120 on the first trade. This would have lost 120. So that's what I thought I did. I did not end up closing those at all, actually. I was looking back. I went to go after we ended the stream because it was a little bit longer in the stream. I kind of didn't notice it. And I think it was around here I started to end the stream, kind of right before this drop happened. But I was talking about it in here in the stream. I was saying goodbye, you know, went over SPY a little bit, and then I ended it. And then I went to just kind of walk around, and then I checked my phone a little bit later, and I was looking, and it was kind of about here that it was holding, and I was like, damn, it didn't close over, and my contracts are still open, so I was kind of pissed at that. Regardless of being up or down, that annoyed me. So I went to go and sell them, and I was looking at the chart. I was like, well, hold up, let's see where it's at. And I saw that it was pushing this low, so I was like, you know what, I'll just keep holding it, and I'll see if we get down to here, and if it does, then I'll just try to sell. So I sold and ended up getting out a pretty good average, actually. Got out at 350, which was only 40 more, but I had a pretty bad entry because on a same day I bought here. You know, if I had bought that same contract, you know, anywhere near this resistance, I would have done a lot better, but I didn't. I bought it way down here. So by the time all this time went by and then it finally came back down here, the cost for this contract is going to be a little different. You know, right here it was probably still a little bit red, you know, even after passing my entry. So it really did take flushing just to get it back positive again. So that's really just a lucky play that happened. I'm not really excited or happy about that one, but it does make the day look a little bit better. So it's one thing to be happy about, I guess, but again, not really happy about that because the execution wasn't by anything I planned. I meant to cut that trade, and we'd have a break-even day today, and the win streak would be over. But in fact, it's not. We now have 3, 6, 9, 12 win streak. If you count the other account, it's 14. But if you're just counting this one, we have a 12 win streak on this account. So very awesome. Just really excited to kind of really take another trade in the full day stream tomorrow. If not, then I'll just wait for next week. But this was a really successful week. If you go to just this week, so 27th all the way to the 31st, so 27th. So all these trades, we're already up 628 on the week, which is actually really, really, really good. That increased us a ton, and that got us a really big gain. So don't really have to trade tomorrow. So knowing that going into a Friday, having another green week, we don't have to worry about that. So going into tomorrow, if I do take a trade, I'll probably enter very, very, very light. I'll try to take a passive trade, but I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm probably going to take a trade that's similar to this trade. You know, just looking for like a good percentage, not really looking for a big gain. Entering very light on a contract, very light risk, trying to keep the account up. And let's see if we can get this account to past 100%. We're right there at 98.56%. So we're very, very, very close, pretty much right there at it. Our win streak is now, or our win rate is now at 85.20%. Pretty decent average trade percentage. I'm not really mad about that. I'm okay with that. We could get a little bit more. Not bad on the dollar amount, because as we grow our account, this 9.8% should just be a multiplier for us making more money. But again, that's not really what we're focused on. We're just focused on making good trades, so in turn, the good results can show. But now we have 3, 6, 7 days in a row green on this account, doing pretty good. Even with today's error, today is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th best day on the account. So can't complain about that. Definitely not going to be mad. Got over the 200 goal. My goal is between like 150 to 200. That'd be really nice. But if we can get over that, that's totally fine. So not going to complain. But yeah, not going to sit here and try to pretend like I'm happy or proud of this trade because it went green. Happy the account's not hurt, but a little mad that the trade didn't close. And the reason I am, because people are always like, how come you didn't, you should be happy you got a green trade. But it's like, yeah, but this could have done all of this before. It could have rallied right here and the trade would be just as that much percentage red. Then I'd be screwed. Sitting there complaining about, oh wow, I didn't close it, I lost a bunch. So that's why I'm not happy about it. It doesn't matter that the trade worked out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this style upload with part of the live stream that we had today. I'm going to try to do like 1 or 2 of these a month, maybe in the near future. I don't know yet. I'm still trying to schedule it out and see. But that was definitely a lot of fun today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Some of the info we also talked about. Feel free to go back through the stream and review it. There was a ton of info covered in it. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. And as you guys can see, we got the account to 98 and about 0.5% growth, even after adding a little bit in there and kind of growing it from there. You could see we took a couple losses. We had a lot of really awesome wins. We had a couple mistakes that ended up being wins, all kinds of different trades. So again, I hope you take plenty of notes from this. Again, feel free to go back through this as many times as you like. Feel free to click on the links in the bio. Feel free to check out the info in the bio of the video. Please drop a like on the video. Let's try to get this to like 500 likes or something crazy. But again, I hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you guys later.